What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy, MM2K, back again with another episode of the Commission Podcast. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to bring on the illustrious co host, the panel, all right? And we're going to start off with my homegirl, Snow Bunny. Snow Bunny in the house, how are you doing this fine evening?
And what's up? What's up? What's up? I'm doing great this evening. It is Friday. The weekend's coming. Going to throw up some more videos, get some more gaming in. That's all that matters. My week has been great. What about your guys? How have you been this week?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And do us a huge favor. As y'all come in here, if y'all live joining us or you're watching this or listening to this video on demand, hit that like button for us. Please let us know. It helps out the channel tremendously. Next up is my homie, Project Stone, the top 100 on Madden, man. How's that going? How's that coming along, man?
Hey, it's going pretty good, man. We'll be talking about that during the show. The Madden is that's what we live for. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's out on Stadia right now, man, to some people it's like, what's the news about it? But we'll get into why that's so spectacular, I'm sure, at some point during the show. But top 100 is where I am at every single year for the last however many years, except one year when they erased my ranking on
What?
PS. All the people that it happened to know what I'm talking about, but they actually erased my ranking, man. Like it was a bug or a glitch that was never fixed. And that happened on PS3 or 4. I can't remember. But other than that, man, I'm up in that top 100 all the time. I'm on top 100 right now for Stadia, man. I'm in there. And I know, normally I won't really count it until I get to like 20 plus games. Right now I'm like 8-1, and I'm already in that top 100, man. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Other than that, I've been playing a hell of a lot of games. You know how it is.
We got Project Kill in the house. Speaking of the top 100, Kill. I heard
Kills
you
in
ready
that
to
hundred.
spank some. I
Kill,
heard you ready
kill,
to spank Storm, bro. What's going on, Kill?
Kills in that 100, man. He's in the 100 too. He's
That's
in
what's
there.
up. I'll
You
be
know
in the
what I mean?
thousands.
Yo,
And
Brian
last,
was in there. Eddie. I saw a lot of people up in that
oh
100.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we gonna be look. There's that tournament. We're gonna talk about that too. For those of you that are interested in Stadia or have access to the platform, there's gonna be a big Madden league starting. I'm hosted by our homie Brian Evolve, so we'll get into that in the show. But last, but certainly not least, our homegirl Tron. Hey, what's going on, Tron? What you been up to?
I've been anything so far. Oh, so man, I've been playing some demos. Nobody showed me some really good demos that been coming out, and I've been playing that was a Chris Tell. Oh my
Oh yeah,
god, that
Christelle.
yeah,
game!
yeah. I heard about
Yeah,
that.
Chris Tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me tell you something about that game. I like the art style of it. It reminds me so much of watching the Powerpuff Girls because the art style reminds me of probably the same. I'm not sure it's the same animator or
Hmm.
somebody else, but they did a really good job on the characters. The storyline is unique. I would love to see more games that try different things like putting a time lapse on each side, past, present, future. That's be something really cool. We need to see more of games just evolving to something totally different than always the same cut and paste and release, the
Exactly.
same
Same
thing
cookie
over.
cutter.
Yeah. And that's what I would love to see more games come out, later down the line is something different. And also there's a game coming out and it might be on all platforms. So as far as I know, they said it might be, PlayStation, but it might be on all platforms. It's practically the story of the Monkey King. I can't remember the name of the game, but
Ah,
it
okay.
looks so amazing.
Now, you're not talking about that one they was demoing during the summer that had everybody's, jaws drop. You ain't talking about that one.
Well, yeah, I am because it's a little.
Okay. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Because that
You see
right
this?
there shows me that we might see more internationally
Uh huh.
games from other countries, especially in China, especially with their huge hit with Genshin Impact. I think I
Yeah.
pronounced it right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we might see more titles coming from them and other things. Because, like I said, we need more games that are different. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just bored with the same thing over and over again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
That's what's up. And
Okay,
you
I'm
know
done.
what? That's a perfect way to segue into what we've been playing. So let's do it in the same order. Snow Bunny, what you been playing since the last episode?
Okay, since the last episode, I have been playing. I actually been playing demos and putting gameplay videos up of demos on my channel. Over on Snow Bunny Gaming. I'm actually thinking about doing like a whole demo series where demos of games that I'm thinking about playing or buying, I'm playing through them, letting other people see how it's playing through. And that way it won't spoil the game, but people can see how the gameplay of it is. So I've been playing demos this week. I played a demo for a point and click game that I love called or a point and click game because I love those. It's called Clockwork Tales of Glass and Ink. I did a demo up until the end of the demo for that. I also did Dragon Quest Builders 2. A demo. There's a huge demo of it on the PlayStation 4. Some people I know never actually even knew the game existed, so they were able to watch that to see what it was like. I also did I think those were the only 2 demos I did this week. I was trying to do one last night, but I messed up. But I played. It's going to be a demo up of Eventide, another point and click game coming up.
Okay.
And
Okay.
today I downloaded a demo for Balon Wonderland.
Okay. What type of
So
game
I'm
is that?
going
Is
to
that
give
another
that
point
a
and click?
try. No, that one is actually done by some of the same creators who did Knights.
Oh.
It's a
Oh. Okay. Okay.
yeah, it's not a point and click. It's an actually it's a 2D platformer or 3D platformer that has co-op.
Yeah. I know. Nice. Is like a cult classic.
Yes,
Ooh, that
and
sounds
so
interesting.
I've been playing that, and then tomorrow night I'm going to be playing my customary Stardew Valley and continuing with the third episode of Dark Pictures anthology Little Hope, which will be live. So that will be tomorrow night. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts and interested in the game, go check out the first 2 parts on my channel, Snow Bunny Gaming.
Awesome, awesome. Project Storm, we know it. Me and Kill we was rapping before we went live, and Kill was like,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah.
yo, Storm don't be playing no games, man. Don't let him fraud you like that live on the air." I said, "Man, I don't know about that, Kill." He said, "Nah, he be frauding." You know what I'm saying? So, what do you got to say? No, I'm just messing with you. What you?
Hey, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this real quick. I'm gonna say this right here. Shout out to Hyperfang. Shout out to Aminor for joining
Shout
us.
out.
Kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? Moss, man. You know I play these games, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, the reason you know is
uh,
because we are linked together when it comes to this whole thing. Me, you, and Bunny, man. PNTS, and this is what we do. And of course, we got trying to get kicking it with us from the round table. But y'all know
Mhm.
what the hell I be doing, man. You see these videos out there. All you gotta do is just check them out. Chris in the building. What's going on? All you got to do is check out the
Chris in the
videos. They're on the
house.
channel. I that's why I drop I don't drop these videos to get 50,000 views, y'all. I drop these videos as a vault of proof. It's like a stamp of approval, bro. When I do something, it's right there. I ain't even got to talk no more. I just slap you with the video. Bang, there it is. So come on, Moss. But
I know.
hey, look, man,
I had to
been
try.
playing
I
so
got to
many
try.
games,
I got to
bro.
try like once
So
every
hey,
other week.
Moss, yo, the medium, you name it, I done jumped
Okay.
over there and
We're
I
gonna
done
talk about
touched on
that
it,
too, brother.
man.
Yep.
Oh man, Star Wars Battlefront, bro, had to bring that back
Ooh.
from the dead,
Okay.
take the cobwebs off that. Beautiful game on PC. My man Main Ether was just talking about it in the Stadia chat with us. Bro, the game is beautiful on PC, man, but the medium, Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get into that later. Get into that later.
Up, that's what's up. And last but not least, Tronny. Now you was giving us you was hitting the tip of the iceberg, but has there anything else you've been playing besides some of those demos that Snow Bunny showed you? Is there anything else you've been
Um,
able to get a hold of?
you know what? I went back to play. You know what? I shoot. I bought Oh yes, I bought Dreams.
Oh, you bought Dreams too.
Now
Oh,
that
okay, all right.
game, yes, okay, that game you got to spend some time to think. It makes you
Mm-hmm.
think. It just like is a lot of work, and even people would say, "Oh, it's so easy." Nah, you gotta use that PlayStation wand. I like call it the colorful wand. That kind of helps out a little bit if I can get that. But there's a lot of things that I'm hoping to see, like I want to see them adding more features because they just released a little bit of like the little imps. That's what they
Mm-hmm.
call them. The little sprite
Yeah.
that helps you drag, and that's gonna be they add little custom features for them. So I was like, oh okay, that's kind of cute. So we might see they might be adding more to the game pretty soon. So I'll let you guys know if I find anything interesting. But I will say this, there's so amazing like art in there. There's to animation, games, and also music videos people have created, and I'm really impressed.
Awesome. All right. Well, we
Yes.
ain't got to ask what I was playing because everybody knows that I
We
be
already
playing.
know what you were playing. You were all on that Madden. Look at you getting into all these sports games. A few months ago was
I know.
PGA Tour.
They try to get me divorced because that's that's an easy way for me to
No,
get divorced,
no.
buddy. Is me because I'm real. When I get into sports games, I get serious. Like my golfer got to have the best rating. My you know what I'm saying. My quarterback can have no interceptions. So I'll reset. Yeah, I'm janky like that. I'll reset each game until my team is perfect. And my wife will be like,
Man,
"It's 3 in the morning. You
Man.
got it.
What
Nope. Time to go to
yo, don't
bed or
say that
not."
on
what
the
kind of golf
commission,
game do
man.
you play?
I'm telling you
Don't
that's
ever
why I
say
had
that
to
on the
leave it
commission
alone.
no more. Don't
I had
ever
to
So
say that
leave
on
it
the commission
alone.
no more, man.
I had
Like,
to
you
don't
said
leave it
you
tell me
play
you out
alone.
golf?
here.
Oh,
Yo,
okay.
go ahead, Tronny. I know you want to say something,
Oh,
man.
that's
As
what I
soon
asked
as you
you.
done.
You said golf, and I was like, wait, what kind of
Oh,
game is that one?
PJ 2K20. Oh,
Oh,
2K.
PGA Tour.
PGA
Woo,
2K21.
whoa, that took
Is
Hey,
my
it?
soul. Took my
bro, he
soul,
just
baby.
admitted that he put the difficulty on super easy cool,
Oh,
man.
heck. He said,
Damn.
Super easy.
he
Super
said I put it
easy
on
cool.
Similac.
Shout out to the
No.
homie Flip Money, man. Flip Money. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Flip Money. That's the homie on Xbox, man. I've been
Uh-huh.
rocking with Flip Money for years, man. He made that turn. He came out with the words super easy cool
Super
as the
easy cool.
difficulty or whatever. So, but look, man, Moss, you got to do better, right? Um,
uh-huh.
at some point, you got to go out there and you got to try to crack that top 100 for the first time ever, man. And on the Madden, for example, right, you got to get over there on the 2K and make it to the Hall of Fame on the rank mode. You got to really get out here on FIFA soccer, and we got to play with all these people across the globe, across the continent, across the damn planet. You know what I'm saying? We got to play FIFA with these people, Moss. You can't be out here playing on super easy cool, bro. Is all I'm trying to say.
See, you see this I told this man
I, I,
this is the recipe of me
Bunny
getting
said I can't
divorced.
change. I should not try to change people, and I gotta let people be the gamers they are. But damn, it's hard, man. I can't lie to you, it's hard.
I just told
It's
this brother.
only hard for you because it's something that you absolutely love. Now, if it was something you could give to a rat's ass about, you probably wouldn't even care.
I I
Mulligan.
I love sports games. I just they're too. We don't have a good relationship. We have a very
Oh shit.
dangerous and toxic relationship. So I got to stay away from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh man, go ahead,
But
bro.
with that said, yeah, I've been playing some Madden. You already heard me. We're gonna talk about this later. It's the new king of ports. Y'all may not understand what the hell that means. I'm gonna get into it later.
King of Ports, the new
What else did I
king.
play? I did some. I can't even remember. I did something for my first look. I did another my first look. I can't remember what the hell the game was. It's an older game that came out for Stadia. I played some Immortals Phoenix Rise, and I tried to capture it off of my PC. This time I was playing on my PC, and it was beautiful. But something went wrong with the capture, and then I tried to play some Remnant from the Ashes because there was a big debate, and we'll get into that later too, if we got enough time. Big debate, GFN, yeah, man. MM2K, you're sleeping on GFN, man. It's a lot better. And no, GFN is a great platform. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to throw, GFN under the bus. It's not stable with every single game. Some games are fantastic. Some games, yeah. And I went and tried Remnant from the Ashes again, and Remnant from the Ashes is still, yeah. So, but not a lot, but a lot of focus was on Madden this week, which really captivated my heart and soul on the platform. So, with that said, let me pay these bills real quick. PNTS Network, show that has many gaming podcasts on it. Shows like the one that we are airing right now, which is The Commission. It is hosted by Snow Bunny Gaming, Project Storm, Tronny, and myself. We air it we try to air it every Thursday or Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, depending upon our busy schedules. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But definitely go to pntsnetwork.com for information on that, or stay tuned to all of us on Twitter as we drop the schedules for each weekly show. Also on Saturdays is SML Podcast, which we're not going to be able to do tomorrow, unfortunately, because I got some other business to tend to. But that is a show hosted by Project Storm and myself. We air that every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a community show where we take yappas, we take phone calls like we do tonight. It's Stadia related, but we also talk about all things gaming. It's a community show. Air that again every 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, either on my channel or Project Storm channel. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the show that is hosted by the aforementioned Project Storm and Snow Bunny. It is called Yang Meets Yang of Gaming. It is where two totally different separate minds of gaming, we give them spiked bats and hatchets and they just go blah. No, they discuss, debate, and talk about all the latest and greatest in gaming news. Everything is covered. Deep conversations. You definitely want to check that show out every Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And last but not least,
2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Did I say, what did I say? 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did I say 11?
You said 11 a.m. Eastern
Jesus,
Standard
I'm
Time. I'm
still
barely
stuck on
crawling
SNL.
out the bed at 11.
Hey, yo, man. Hey, you ain't on the old Milwaukee right now.
Not
Right?
yet. No, I had me half a
The
pack
old
of
Milwaukee.
Cools.
I already crushed mine. You know what I'm saying? I crushed the can on my forehead and everything, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling good right now, But you got to get it together, man.
I can go for some proper 12, but no, not yet. All
Oh,
right, and last
don't
but
say
not
that-
least,
no.
SSC Podcast every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hosted by me, my homie Project Storm, and when available, the homie Eddie Player One, and we have special guests lined up. We got a special guest coming up this Wednesday. That is a show about everything Stadia. Check that out on the Stadia Dosage platform. Just look up Stadia Dosage News. It's there every Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of these shows, except this one, which that may change soon, more to come. All of those shows can be caught on your favorite audio platform. I want to thank you so much for your support on platforms like Spotify. We've grown up, mama. Look, no hands. We've gone past Radio Public. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Mitcher, Fletcher. You think of, you name it. Well, you can think about it.
Mixer?
We're on there.
You
We're
on
on
Mixer?
we don't went on Mixer and then came back to life. We're everywhere. Check us out. SSC Podcast, Yang Meets Yang at Gaming, SML. We're all there, and this may be there soon. So just stay tuned. All right, that's it. I paid all the bills.
Hey, Project Kill said, you can keep that proper 12, keep that proper showstopper, man. You know what I'm saying?
Brother.
Keep
Woo!
that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Woo! My God. Golly. I love that proper 12, brother.
My bottle's empty, man, but Kill's
Mine's
over there
is too,
babysitting,
man.
bro. I don't know. But anyway, let's get it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's not play around anymore. Let's get right into these topics. Because I got one that I'm gonna try to break down quickly, and I'm gonna shut up so y'all can hear the experts, the people that you really want to hear, which is this panel. And topic number one is GameStop versus Robinhood. All right. Now I ain't gonna try to gore y'all too much with the details, but there's been a lot of whoop to do, y'all, about all this investment, hoopla, selling shorts and squeezing the shorts and all this other crazy stuff going on in the stock market. And now the little man has got a leg up on the big conglomerates, and the big conglomerates don't like it. Let's take a look. This is by Bloomberg News. It says in 11 hours of pure mania, 100% stock gains popped up everywhere. Even as the broader stock market sank, shares loved by day traders on Reddit soar. Is this the right one? Oh yeah, this is talking about game. So here's what's going on, y'all. GameStop was a stock that was being shorted. I'm going to try real quick to explain this. I'm going to do this as fast as possible. What shorting is say for instance, if I owe Project Storm $100, right? I borrow $100 from him. If I borrow $100 from him, I normally have to give him $100 back in order for my debt to be paid, right? Or Project Storm is coming to beat me to the white meat, right?
I need you. I ain't gonna do that.
He need his money. So that's how it normally works when you borrow money. But when you borrow on a short in the stock market, what you're borrowing is you're borrowing on the expectation that the stock you're borrowing against is going to drop. So let's just say if I'm borrowing against GameStop, let's say GameStop was at $20 at some point in time, and I'm like, look, GameStop is going to go to $6. So I'm going to borrow $20 worth of GameStop at X amount of stocks. You know what I'm saying? Say I buy 100 stocks, I borrow against 100 units of stock of GameStop at $20 a pop. So then that's what, $2,000? Something like, yeah, that's $2,000 that I get to borrow.
Yeah.
Now, normally when you borrow money, that's the you got to pay that principal back. But when you borrow on a short, you only pay back what the stock is worth when your payback is called or when the short is called. So let's just say if 3 months later they come to me and they say, MM2K, that $2,000 that you borrowed against GameStop, now it's time for you to pay what you owe us back. And if the stock fell, I don't owe necessarily $2,000. If the stock fell from $20 to $10, I may just owe $1,000, and that other $1,000 that I borrowed is mine to put in my pocket to go buy me some old Milwaukee and not tell Storm about it. That's how selling shorts work. And what was happening was the stock market, and all this is built on speculation, meaning all these rich people, they go on ski trips, they go on lodge trips and do all this other stuff, and they figure out ways to make GameStop stock drop by speculation, going on the interwebs and talking all this stuff about GameStop. And they've been doing this since September of last year. Fast forward to now. A group of savvy people that understand how this works created a website, a Reddit page called Reddit Webs or something like that. And they talk about
like
these
Wall Street bets or something.
Yeah, Wall Street bets.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And what they did is they don't collude together because that's illegal. What they basically do is they inform the public of every time Wall Street is trying to manipulate a stock price so they can get shorts. You know what I'm saying? And
right.
It started with GameStop. So what happened was all these investors put billions and billions of dollars and did all this speculation, hoping that they can borrow against GameStop at one price and they can influence it to drop to another price. But what's happened is the opposite side of a short sale is if the price increases, you owe that difference. You see what I'm saying? So it works in reverse if the price increases. And you got these hedge funds, these sleazy hedge fund directors and managers losing all this money because instead of GameStop dropping from like $6 to $2, it went up to $350. So can you imagine that if these people borrowed against 1,000 shares, instead of getting back like $5 per 1,000, whatever, now they owe like $250, and these hedge funds don't borrow at little shares. They done bought millions of shares. You know what I'm saying? So they're out billions of dollars and they're crying, boo-hoo, boo. So in response, instead of letting it ride, because it's not going to mess up the whole stock market, it's only messing up shorts. Instead of letting it ride, companies like Robinhood is doing what their name says. The Robin Hood. They stopped the general public on fighting back on this. And now they're trying to side with the hedge fund managers. So I hope I explained that well. But based off of what you guys know, panel, and I'll start with Storm. What do you think about all this? I mean, I know a lot of people don't like GameStop because of some of his practices with trade-ins and all this other stuff. But at the same time, you got people rallying for GameStop because of these practices and looking out for the little man. So based upon what you know, what you think about all this, Storm?
Hey, look, I tell you right now, it's kind of spooky in the words of Bunny, I say, because look, I was just having a conversation, and I know I keep calling out the homie Kill's name. Kill, you should be
Uh
happy tonight, bro. I won't do this again.
huh.
But me, Kill, and other people that we know had a discussion. We had a meeting, actually, a Zoom meeting about
Yep.
like investments and stuff like this, and GameStop came up as one of
Mm-hmm.
those companies to invest in. But now,
Yep.
Moss Bunny and Tronny, like, I don't know. I see Aminar saying I guess he got his feet wet on the investment side of things,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not sure. It kind of makes me want to dig deeper into this to find out what's going on, because like I was reading somewhere and it was saying how Robinhood was forced to like raise over $1 billion or whatever from his investors, and I don't fully understand it, Moss,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know where you're coming from. I know I'm familiar with this. I just don't know how it would affect me if I wanted to get shares or whatever. I wanted to buy some shares in GameStop and all that right about now, because it was like the trajectory of that thing. If you looked on, if you looked at the graphs and all that stuff, man, it was going up and down like a roller coaster. So I don't. It's something I want to look at. That's how I feel about it.
Yep. Well, you're seeing in the chat. Shout out to Hyperfane Gaming. You'll see Aminor. A lot of people. Well, I did a show earlier when I talked about this briefly. Um, they're saying hold the line. What that means is don't sell, meaning the
Okay.
price. Hopefully, the price will keep going up because they don't want the shorts that these crummy hedge fund investors start. They don't want them to get payback on them. They want them to owe this money so they can stop these practices. My suggestion is, Storm, that for GameStop in particular, it's too expensive. Too expensive. The one that everybody's eyeing right now is AMC. And let me know Aminor how that, because I know Aminor sitting there with his monocle and his can of old Milwaukee, watching the stocks and seeing where it's at. The one that the two that everybody's eyeballing right now that's been talked about on Wall Street Bets is AMC and BlackBerry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where again the hedge funds try to influence the stock price, not because the stock was doing worse, but because they just wanted to get some short money.
So,
Go ahead,
now,
brother.
hey, Moss. Now, Tronny, were you going to say something first? I thought I heard Tronny coming in or something.
Yeah, actually, I was quite because I was looking into because I had Robinhood for almost 3 years
Mm,
Yeah.
and on my account, so it's been there for a very long time. But I always wanted to get into stocks a long time ago because a lot of people were telling me beforehand, like you gotta
mm,
go check out like what would they call it, penny stocks or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was like stuff like that. There were people were telling me, try to put some money for like toilet paper or something, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that because you want to do the more like you said, do the more like lesser stocks than a lot of the higher ones. Because that's where he told me, well, that's where all the money's at. And I said, then you have to pay taxes on that, don't you? You
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
And so,
have to pay
and my
taxes on that stuff.
yeah, and see, my thinking was, because I was reading and wherever I was, because of course I read up on it,
mm-hmm,
but a little bit, and it was saying that they basically, I guess they were taking advantage of all these amateur investors or whatever that was jumping on the scene. Like, again, we had this meeting the other day. I'm new to the investment side of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife is all about that stuff. Her side of the family, not, they're deep into it. Other people. I don't know. I really don't know too much about it. So it's all interesting to me because I was reading that it was like they were taking advantage of these amateur investors or whatever, which is how that the stocks got to the point that they got to really trigger all this, I guess, right? So now I'm just wondering what the bottom line, what the outcome will be, and that's something again to keep an eye on. That's all I could say.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what that's it too.
Yeah,
That's
is it not a good move? Is what I'm asking. Like, do you still like that? I know they say hold the line and all that stuff. That's good
it
terminology,
it,
but
it it's it depends. It depends. If this is like there are forces out there that are trying to reverse it back in the favor of the hedge funds, the billionaires. But if they fail, then yeah, I would say this is what I suggest. This is what I suggest. I just had this conversation with my daughter. This is what I suggest. Everybody should have stocks because savings accounts and CDs and stuff, they're a ripoff. This is part of what I used to do, like financial and data and analysis. Savings
Yeah.
accounts are ripoffs. Like you're really stagnating the use of your money. My suggestion would be, and I built my whole 401k on this, and I invested late.
Yeah.
And I was able to get my 401k in 5 years on track of what somebody invested in 401k would be in 20 years. Here's my secret. I'm share it with y'all. I invest in a European index, meaning you go invest in a mutual fund and just tell whoever, a broker or whoever's, I want to know what a European index, a stock, a mutual fund that invests in a whole bunch of European stocks, and just let it sit. Let it sit. The last we cuss on this one.
Man, you can say shit, man. It's nighttime.
The European, it's nighttime. European index has been killing it for like the last 20 years. So what I suggest is at least take like $500. You can open up a Scotch trade account, which is $500. That's how I started. Just with $500, put like $450 in there or $500 in there. Leave some money liquid, because if you got to trade, you got to have money liquid so you to cover the trade, because the trades has fees, and they don't take them fees out of your you know what I'm saying, out of your overage if you sell stock. They take it out of money that's sitting there. So start with 500, put like 300 in a mutual fund, leave 200 liquid, and that's a whole separate account. Then I would open a Robinhood-ish type account, because Robinhood is shady. They Robinhood now. But there's other ones out there that are like Robinhood. Put 500 in there and then go try to buy AMC, or pay attention to the companies that Wall Street bets are saying, all right, this is the next objective, and just watch the stock. And if in 3 days, if 3 days in a row they go up, I would say it's safe to invest in one of their stocks.
I think I would try to do Acorn, because Acorn, you had to pay to start with their program, but but they have a little more. They have a little more options, and I will look into them and see how they work, because they seem to be more safe. Because you guys understand, your Social Security is also in that in those apps. They'll use your Social Security. So that's also, you have to, that's why I was a little bit concerned of why would they allow people to shut it down yesterday, when I literally signed up and it was like, oh shit, my information's right there. And that right there is against the, it's kind of illegal for them to, close it off to the public.
Or they're not regulators. So just because a group of people are benefiting from something, as long as it's not illegal, they're not allowed to shut it off. Their excuse was, we're cozy with the hedge fund people, and they asked us to shut it off, so we stopped it. That's illegal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's
illegal.
I can't think of an analogy for it right now, but that's illegal.
It's legal or illegal?
Yeah,
illegal.
Illegal. Okay.
Yeah. And
they decided to stop, and now it's looking like Congress is getting involved. Like,
oh yeah,
why are you stopping this? But yet you're letting the hedge funds do the exact same thing, and they're not stopping them. That's where Robinhood is getting into trouble at.
Here's why I say it's illegal. The SEC has very stringent actions and rules when it comes to this type of stuff. I've had to deal with the SEC before. I've been in lawsuits, Fortune 500 lawsuits. They were nothing compared to dealing with the SEC. The worst experience in my life. I'd rather have my wife tap my jaw for taking her credit card than to deal with the SEC. Horrible. I had to turn into a goddamn poet, an English teacher, write essays and shit. It was horrible. The SEC, this is how they operate. If you're trading money, if you're bartering money, you have to, as the money passer, which Robinhood is, you have to have standards. Meaning, this is how Robinhood works, and how they were instrumental in this happening. Robinhood doesn't charge you fees for trading stocks. Normally, a Fidelity, a Scotch Trade, or somebody, they charge you fees. So if you want to sell 100 shares, they go to that liquid, whatever's liquid in your account, and they'll take out X amount of money for whatever you traded. And that can become expensive. That's why the average Joe or Jane Doe don't be trading rapidly like how they're doing now. What Robinhood did is they said, we got a way to get you more active, but we're going to make more money out of it. They don't charge you fees for transactions. What Robinhood does is they skim you off the top. So if you sell 100 shares, they're not going to charge you a transaction fee. What they're going to do is take a little percentage off of what you would get back. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they do their thing. And in actuality, you end up paying them more by them doing that, but it's more convenient because you ain't got to have cash on the side to cover your transactions. So it's working for people. But what happened is, because they don't charge you transaction fees, the average Joe Schmo can now move as many shares of stock like a hedge fund. And they don't like that. Well, the hedge fund people don't like that. So they went to Robinhood and they said, you better shut it down. And Robinhood said, okay. Which they can't do because the SEC says, no, you got to operate at a standard. And that's why the SEC's coming for their ass.
Oof. Big oof.
Horrible thing.
Yeah, spookiness.
Yeah. So I've been looking at that yesterday, and I saw that when I saw that lawsuit pop, I was like, wow, just wow, man. That was all yesterday. Everything. They did that in New York City. That's where the lawsuit's at.
Aminor in the chat says, I didn't know this because I'm not part of Robinhood. He said Robinhood takes 5%. Yep.
Ugh.
And that's
Thank
what
you
they
for letting
do.
me know that one.
So you've been taking 5% from people, and now you want to halt their transactions? Oh no, you're not a securities exchange. You don't have the authority to do that.
Power. Yeah, I don't have the power to do that. Yeah.
Last question before we move on, unless anybody else has any other questions.
Oh, okay.
My question is, this is all around GameStop, which I think most of us hate because of their practices, right? GameStop is looking like a champ because of this. I mean, do you think there's a bit of irony here? It's a shame.
But wait a minute. GameStop and other retail places filed a class action lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Also against Robinhood for them
of course,
stopping the sales, the purchases of their things. So Robinhood's getting hit by two things. They're getting hit by the government stating, "Hey, why are you doing this?" But you're not doing it to hedge funds. And then they're getting hit by a class action lawsuit from all these retailers who's like, "Why are you stopping our sales from happening?
Mm-hmm.
Our stock is going up."
3 places, Bunny. You're close. By the government, by the retail places, and by the investors themselves. They open up a class action lawsuit too. Say, this ain't right. So, but but Bunny, what do you think about, Bunny or Storm? What do y'all think about GameStop benefiting from this? I mean, do you think it's a shame, or it's just, hey, it's collateral damage? It is what it is.
It's a catch-22 there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, yeah, their stocks are going up. But what does that do for me as a customer of the store?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, because I look at the bottom dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Me as a customer of the store, I don't own any stock in GameStop. I would love to, but right now stuff is getting a little too janky to even mess with stocks because you don't want to get tied up into whatever's going on.
Yep.
And then on the flip side of it, okay, the stock is going up, but for what reason? Well, I mean, we know the reason it's going up, but my point is once it goes up, what's going to happen? They're going to be the same company.
Yeah, the same.
They're going to still be doing the same janky shit they do now.
Well, I thought they had some kind of new leader that was supposed to be joining the force. You know what I'm saying? That was going to shake things up a little bit.
But he's a new leader who's shaking things up, but that still doesn't boil down to the stock market. Usually stocks and things rise when new leadership comes in, but also based on what that leadership does. Right now, it's rising, but he hasn't done anything yet.
You're saying it's not rising based off of his activity. Well,
Exactly.
maybe we gotta give him some time because we don't. I don't know what the hell he's going to do. I don't know what this. I mean, we did see some analysts. I saw somewhere where we saw some analysts that was happy with some of the moves that they made, but
Hmm.
you know, it's kind of hard to tell. Again, they haven't really come out and said this, and this is or our new initiatives. This is how we're going to make GameStop better. You know what I'm saying? So, well, they haven't
Right.
said it
We
to
haven't
us.
heard anything yet.
Yep. Well, maybe we give them some time. What do you think, Storm? How do you feel about GameStop being the benefactor of all this?
Man, GameStop is synonymous with janky. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have a whole lot to say. Like I said, I don't really not a big consumer. Now I
Uh-huh.
just got my motherboard for my PC from GameStop. That's because I had credit from trading in my Xbox One X and my PS4 Pro. So I
Uh-huh.
went ahead and put some of that money toward my damn motherboard. That's about it, y'all. I don't really be out there really riding with GameStop like that real heavy. So it doesn't affect me. I was just trying to get a quick dollar off of them. You know what I'm saying? So this does relate to what my interest or whatever. So hey, it's all interesting. I was just soaking it all in because I really don't know too much. I'm not knowledgeable about everything GameStop and Robinhood. So it was a good ass conversation to listen to.
Right. Any other thoughts, Tron? Anybody else? Any thoughts on this before we move on?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right. Well, next on the docket, my friends, is let's talk about it. Oh, because Bunny and Tron tried to like warn me and Storm about this, and we really wasn't understanding. Well, I wasn't understanding. I don't want to speak for Storm because you know I'm slow. I'm slower than a turtle riding, surfing on molasses. But this happened last week, and it was crazy. Uh, Microsoft backtracks on Xbox Live Gold price hike. My God, my God. So on a Friday, Microsoft, we woke up and we discovered because we talked about this on the initiative. I mean, on the commission last on the Thursday before this happened, right?
Yeah.
That they were going to
Yep.
try to hike the price of Xbox Live Gold
Mm-hmm.
because people saw something on Reddit, and what happened is they pretty much doubled the price for a lot of the subscription choices, and then they end up recanting it. Um, my first question to the panel is just a simple one. Even though they recanted and they said at some point in time they're gonna remove the paywall for Xbox Live Gold on free to play games. What are your overall thoughts on this? What is the damage, or is there any damage? Is this all a plus side because of what they said they're going to get rid of as far as the paywall is concerned? What do you think is the overall ramifications of this whole situation? Who wants to grab at this first?
I'll do it.
Go ahead, cause you know I
Hey,
was
hey,
gonna
oh,
jump
you
on
don't
it.
mind? I don't know if you guys mind. I just look at this as it's just like every company when there's always backlash, they always trying to find ways to define like, okay, let's make them feel better because they'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the first time, it won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
So removing that paywall should have been done years ago. Even last year, people were mentioning about the paywall. All of them just ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. Phil, all of them. It was all in their Twitter accounts. Everyone say, how about you remove the paywall? How about you remove the paywall? The only reason why they did this, because those influencers start talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah, they
they
were
start
heavy on
talking
this.
about it, and then companies like what's it, Activision for Call of Duty. Um I think I can remember that other game. There was another game also mentioned about it. Talk about Sony. They were actually making Sony and Nintendo looking good
Mm-hmm.
the whole time, and Microsoft just looks greedy. So that's what made them change because other people of higher positions says something. Because I feel like this is all fake. So believe me, it's all fake. Caring. Because last year everybody was saying, even other Xbox fans were talking about, hey, remove that paywall for the free games. Why are you all of a sudden you do it now with other people say something that is practically part of your market? That's the only time you do it. And I saw that and I was like, okay, whatever. They're going to do it again. So never trust a corporation. Doesn't matter who it is.
Well, um, me and Bunny, were you gonna go next?
Um, only thing I'm gonna say about the whole thing is this is reminding me of 2013. And when I say that, I'm
Yep.
saying it as Microsoft was going to do a whole bunch of things in 2013, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yep.
And then they backtracked everything again. Remember how they backtracked everything they said that they were going to do to not do everything that they were going to do. But look at what happened. It took them 7 years, 7, 8 years. But a lot of the things that they were trying to do then, they have implemented. So right now, the whole hike failed. You know what I mean? To get the Game Pass gold, I mean, to get gold upgraded to Game Pass, and it's like they were trying to force Game Pass on people
Mm-hmm.
to where it's not an option anymore. It's what you need to
Hmm.
get. It's going to end up happening. We just don't know how long it's going to take for it to implement and to happen. We just don't know yet.
Well, the way I
Um.
feel about
Oh, go ahead, Storm. Go
it,
ahead, brother.
if you don't mind, man, can I go?
Yes, sir.
I got the floor.
You got the floor.
Well, let me ride. Let me ride out. I feel differently about it. I did some thinking, and I definitely consulted with some personal friends about the whole thing, and had these conversations. Because at first, y'all know me. Sometimes I get in Storm's world, and that's all I can see is my world. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, not all the time, but I had, you know what I'm saying, um, to hear the conversations that was going on and how they felt about it. That and then Bunny had been saying it for a while, we don't listen to Bunny until shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? We don't really take we hear, but we don't pay attention, you know? And Bunny was calling this thing out. And so so what I want to say is though I could see it both ways. I could see Microsoft trying to get that extra dollar because shit, this is a business. You know what I'm saying? This is a business. Now, I don't know about trying to get a whole nother $60 a year to $120 a year. I don't know about that, y'all, but I can see how a company would want to make a little bit more money. Now, the problem here is that some people feel like the value wasn't there. Now, if you were giving us, Halo Infinite right now, you know what I'm saying? If you were buying into something like that, or if they made it more appealing, the icing was on the cake, right? Then they might grumble, but you won't have an all-out pitchfork fest, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm happy that the gamers spoke up, man.
Mm-hmm.
MM2K, you're one of the biggest advocates for gamers. Of course, we've heard Tronny talk about it on the PlayStation side of things, and Bunny on the Switch side of things multiple times, right? But when I'm hearing people and Hyper Fangs in here, him, Dirt, other people like that, and the other people that was on social media, and when I start hearing all of them just saying, "Oh hell no, ho 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 ho, enough is enough. We like the platform, we ride for the platform and all that, right? But this right here is too much, man." At the same time, though, if you the head of Microsoft, bro, what do you do? Do you sit back and let your consumers now? I listen, y'all, listen now, because I'm about to rub some people the wrong way. Did you let consumers dictate what the hell happens 100% of what happens with your company, or do you, like Bunny said, you go find a roundabout way to do things to get that money that you're looking for, or do you just give all in and give them that extra value that they crave, like, but then you're losing more money by doing that. Yo, this is a good ass conversation. I'm telling y'all, good conversation should not die so quickly.
Oof.
I just wanted to say that, I really
Hey,
want
don't
you
pay.
to.
Hey, look, I'm gonna let
It's
the
your
ladies deal
turn.
with you. I ain't gonna
All right,
answer that,
okay. No,
but
I'm
let
not
the
saying.
ladies
No,
deal
I'm
with
just
you.
telling.
I'll
What
let
I'm
you.
saying
Get them,
I'll
before the
tell
ladies.
lady,
you
before
something.
before
I'll
the
tell you.
ladies Before the ladies
but
though, before Tronny, before you go ahead and ride out Tronny, I'm saying,
yeah.
what I'm saying is, imagine yourself in Microsoft's shoes. You just trying to get $1 now. You was just gonna add $1 to the lowest tier. You was gonna add $5 to the middle tier, and you was adding a whole damn 60, the price of one game now, to the highest tier, y'all. Now, to some people that might make sense. You might say, I know what Storm's trying to say. To other people, like, man, Storm, shut the hell up. I can understand both ways. I'm stuck in the middle, like MJ. Let's go.
Okay, so I understand that Microsoft is a company. Like I said, they're all companies and they're trying to make that dollar. But you basically paint yourself as customer friendly and all this other stuff to your fan base. So they're going to assume that you're going to get good deals, good all this stuff. They got the studios coming up, they got games, their projects they heard about, all this stuff. But at the same time, you also promoting Game Pass as being $1 and all this other stuff. Oh, you get it for $1 and all this stuff. I guess that's only the first time you get it, and then it's back to 15. It's like $15 right now. And so you already paint this picture of what your company is, and so and people expect you to keep it that way. They don't expect you to change it. I mean, if you're going to change it, you should at least inform a way to your that change, let you know there'll be some changes coming up. Don't do it just because behind the scene and just change it without them knowing. That's what happened. People did not expect it until people on Reddit start taking pictures and saw that that game, the Xbox Live Gold. Everyone thought that was fake. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people were assuming that was all fake until they announced it on their website. And that
Right.
was a very sneaky move that they've been doing since, like Mike said, since 2013. They've been doing that for a
But
long
Tronny,
time.
how do they do it, Tronny? How did they do it and get kind of like what they want to? Or do
Because
they
they
just
have to
not do it? Or are they just not in it to make money? Now we know they're profitable. We know they made a lot of damn money. We heard about the
No,
billions
no,
that
no,
they just
no,
made.
they
no,
did.
no, no.
Woo!
I know that's not
Make a
all the
correction
Hit the
there.
Xbox
like button.
division. I know
Let's
that's
make
not.
a
Hit the
let's
like
make a
button. Get it.
correction.
Okay, then
I know
Get
that's not
it.
all the
Let's make
Xbox
the
division.
correction there. Let's make
Nah,
the
nah, nah,
correction there.
nah, 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 nah,
That is
nah, 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 nah.
Microsoft's who made all that money. Okay, that's where gamers, in my opinion, something's going wrong with gamers because you're looking at Microsoft and you're saying, oh, Microsoft's making all this money. But then the Xbox division, what you're supporting, is not giving you anything. I mean, here's the thing. This has been going on for years. Everybody talks about Microsoft's revenue. Okay, and you're hyping up Microsoft's revenue, whereas Sony and Nintendo, like people up here comparing those to Microsoft. Oh well, they're not making as much money as Microsoft. But then when you're turning around looking, or you're looking on Nintendo's side, their gamers are getting games every month. You're looking on PlayStation side, their gamers are getting games every couple months. But then when you look on Microsoft side, you got Game Pass. Okay, whoop-de-doo, you have Game Pass. What was the last big new game that came out for you?
Man, fuck it. Hey, mask off, gloves off. Let's get it. All
Okay,
right.
Nah,
so
nah,
Mask
that's
nah,
the
off,
nah,
thing.
gloves
You
off.
are
nah, nah,
Let's get
comparing,
it.
nah, nah,
but see,
nah,
the
nah,
thing
nah,
is
nah.
you're comparing Microsoft's revenue, and you got to think Microsoft is everywhere. Microsoft is on PCs. That's their Windows Live. I mean, not Windows. No, their Windows 10. That's their going into like the software, the hardware, the PCs they do. That's going into all their tech. Microsoft is a lot of tech. But then you as a Xbox gamer are comparing their revenue to my, oh yeah, Microsoft's on top. Okay, are you following Microsoft or are you following Xbox, the gaming console?
No, 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 no. No, let me.
I
So all I'm
agree.
gonna say is, oh, go ahead, Tronny, because it was
Go
we
ahead,
stole
Johnny. Go
Real
ahead.
Tronny's
quick,
Y'all,
real
spotlight.
quick.
I'm gonna
I
let y'all
think,
get this air this out before
Damn.
I hop
and
in.
they were like that's not including the commercials. I've been seeing a lot of that Surface, the Surface tablet, not tablet, but Surface. It's actually really nice. I
The
ain't gonna
Surface
lie.
Pro, yeah, it does look very nice.
Yes, that is a nice computer. I
I
actually,
mean, you gotta think
like that.
about this. Most computers in like all government agencies around the world, they don't use Apples. A lot of them use IBM Windows-based computers. They ain't getting that for free.
All I'm
No,
saying is,
they donate to schools. Also, you got to think about the schools that's also
yeah,
getting computers. Like right now, I think Google might be getting something out of it because a lot of these little schools and children are using Chrome computers right now. Like my cousin, they have like a lot. They have it in school,
yeah,
and
yep.
that's also how many people bought Apple computers this recently, and
Same thing for
also
Apple. We got
yeah.
iPads in my school district, like all over in every building.
Yeah. And so a
But
lot of those companies, a lot of the tech companies are getting all these. That's where you hear all the what's going on. Microsoft is one of them because people are buying up because of the pandemic, and that's bringing more revenue as well.
right,
So that's
right.
also
So, and
what's
I'm
bringing.
totally okay with Microsoft's revenue, but when you are a gamer, you got to
Hmm.
sit here and think, "W- are you hyping up Microsoft's revenue or are you following the game console?"
Hey,
Like
check
prime
it.
example, Nintendo
Hmm.
right now is getting ready to launch their Nintendo Land. Are you hearing about any Nintendo fanboys up here screaming about how well Nintendo is doing for opening their own theme park?
Never.
Are they using that to hype up their gaming console?
Well, a part of I get what you're saying, but here's the reality of the whole shit, right? Microsoft is doing something for gamers, right? It just dropped 7.5 bill. Now, if
No,
And
people,
no,
what
no,
have
no,
you
no,
oh,
wait a
no,
minute,
no,
hold
no,
up,
no, no,
hold
no,
up.
wait a
no,
minute,
no,
They
no,
wait a
no,
dropped
minute.
no, no.
7.5 billion
Hey, let me
and
rap.
they got anything to show for that 7.5 billion. Let's not talk about the shit
Let
in
me
the
rap. Let me rap. Let me rap.
Let's
Let
not
me
talk
rap,
Listen, y'all
about
Bunny.
the
ain't gonna
shit
gang
in
up on
the
Hey,
me.
future.
Bunny.
Y'all ain't
Let me
gonna
Let's
gang
rap.
talk
up on
about the
me.
shit right now.
Nah, let me rap, Moss. We're
Go,
gonna
go
go
ahead,
over a little
Storm. Go
bit.
ahead,
We're gonna go over a
Storm.
little bit. Hey, I want to break something down to y'all. All right,
Uh-huh.
real quick, real easy, real grimy, real greasy. You heard what I'm saying? Bars. Microsoft dropped 7.5 bill. They just recouped, I think 17 bill. I forgot what the number was, but it's crazy amounts of billions, right? You know what I'm saying? So then now you could take some of that money, Bunny. That's a surplus over there. You know what I'm saying? You could take that and put that shit in your Xbox division if you need to, because that's your damn money, right? So they invested the 7.5 bill into these future franchises and moves like Bethesda and ZeniMax and all of this shit that's going to help them down the road. Moss keep talking about Stadia down the road, right? See, that's why I like having these conversations about Xbox and PlayStation. I gotta call a spade a spade. Them mugs got the loot. They wasn't afraid to drop that hammer. When they did, it shook the damn industry up. Everybody sat up in their damn chairs and said, damn, even Moss. Yo, I gotta give it to him. How can you not? Now you got Bethesda and all their games and all this stuff, man. And you know, those are triple A IPs. You can call them dog shit, you call it what you want. Those are triple A IPs that they can do what the hell they want to do once that deal is finalized and all that, right? But they got that money to boost up that Xbox division if they need to. Just like Google has that money and Amazon has money. If they wanted to, they could say, yo, let's throw this shit in there. Let's get it popping. That's all I'm saying.
But my question is, why did they need to raise the prices for their
If they're
Xbox
making all
Gold?
that
Well,
all extra
Well,
money.
no,
Yeah.
all
Oh,
right,
no,
okay.
no,
So,
no, no,
hey,
no.
nah, hell no, because you know damn well, y'all, it's a business now. You still got to make money. Just because you put seven
Uh-huh.
point five bill in, don't mean you ain't trying to make 35
A
bill.
little suspicious
You,
there.
so, Moss, if you are selling old Milwaukee cookies, you know what I'm saying, all that on the corner, right? Moss got some old
Uh-huh.
Milwaukee
I got the
cookies, and
old
I'm like,
Milwaukee
damn, that's a
cookies.
good ass
Old,
idea,
old,
right?
old. You said old?
Yeah, old Milwaukee cookies. Moss is trying to sell his cookies for $1.50, and then here comes Storm with his cookie truck, and I got old Milwaukee, but I spliced mine with a little bit of Budweiser. You know what I'm saying? And I'm over here selling my cookies for like $3, and
That
the
is some
bottom line is
salty
I'm trying to get
cookies.
more. I'm trying to get more money Because I'm in the business to put Moss out of business. Shit, I ain't playing
Okay,
friendly ball with Moss.
I
You
do have
gotta
something
make
to say
money.
about that one.
You gotta make money, Tronny. That's all businesses try to
That's
do. That's the whole purpose of going into business. Go ahead.
I know you have to make money, but keep it. Why just keep it your Xbox Gold the way it is, and you still gonna make that money
Because they
regardless.
putting out several other they're putting investments in other places that's causing them to kick out billions and billions and billions of dollars. Tronny.
So
Now,
basically, let me ask you this question. So they were raising it to 120 a year, most likely with the hopes that people would just go, "Oh, well, I might as well get Ultimate and pay the $180 a year." So you're making the people who are not getting the most bang for the, I mean, you're making the people who just want gold. You got to think, some people are not interested in Game Pass. Some people, the only reason they got gold is so that
Mm-hmm.
they could play
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
um Fortnites and Warzone and free to play games, because that's all they play. So they only had Game Pass just to play those. So you're gonna make the people who are getting the least pay the most?
but this is my fear. This is what keeps me up at night. You know what I'm saying? What we don't know what
Mm.
these companies have in store for us. When we hit the streets and we complain and we yell before we even know what's about to happen now, they should have been more transparent, and they definitely shouldn't try to rob people. Hell no, they shouldn't try to rob the people in the middle of a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? But if they were going to come out later and say, yo, man, we've been working hard. We got Game Pass. Y'all heard about the big things that we have coming from Game Pass. The black chick, what her name? I forget her name, but she got on stage several times and told us about what Game Pass is trying to do. Then they went out.
Asia Taylor,
Yeah, yeah.
Asia
Yeah,
Taylor.
shout out to her. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Very popular, very smart individual. You know what I'm saying?
She's cool.
So check it out. So check it. So what if they had big plans to integrate somehow? Because they have been making moves. Game Pass exists for a reason. That shit is hot. It's hot fire. I
Okay.
don't know nobody who don't have Game Pass. If you have an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, I don't know you. And I'm dead serious.
You know a few. I know my friend, she doesn't have a Game Pass, and so she just have Xbox Live Gold. And then the only thing is the problem with, I think it's separate sometimes. Like she plays games a little separately. She said she didn't want Game Pass herself because she said, well, there's nothing there for me to play. So there's also people, depending on what they have on there, not everyone, like genres wise, they're not going to touch it. Um, there's also, here's the thing also, why are you paying $120 for Game Pass but not get the same? It's sort of like there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense to me. Why are you
Well,
paying like 6 months for it? Why can't you just pay it for a year? If they want to do all that, they could just change the Game Pass and put it down for a year instead of making people
So let,
pay.
go
Oh,
ahead, Moss.
let me hop in here because these are all great questions and all great counterpoints. And I think what it boils down to is two questions. Why did they do this? And again,
yeah.
why are we rehashing this? What we're rehashing this because we're trying to show what does this show about corporate moves, as Storm was asking. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but we get a great indicator if we look closely on why this was done. So first, let's look at why they did it real quick, and just bear with me. So y'all know how
Okay,
you
no
know how I do.
problem.
Let me show you something. All right,
Okay.
check this out. This is a chain of tweets from the homie Daniel Ahmad Z Huge. Shout out to him. He's an analyst. And I just summarized his tweets. He has a series of tweets about this. I summarized them by saying this. This is a great thread by Z Huge. Most of it I wholeheartedly agree with. Mainly despite Game Pass's rapid growth to 15 million as of late, and now we know it's 18 million, it still needs a lot more. Still needs a lot more. Hence the moves yesterday, or the attempted, price hike. They need larger scale adoption for long-term success. Microsoft will continue to spur such adoption. In other words, and this is not my words, this is Daniel Ahmad, an analysis. They're going to try something again. You don't do 100% price hike unless there is a serious need. Like even Netflix, they go up incrementally. Disney Plus just went up incrementally. They tried 100% price hike. So that shows you something that I've been saying on this platform for years that people didn't want to listen to. I told y'all, I said in 2023, that's the watershed mark for all of these services. For Game Pass, for Xbox, for Amazon, for Lunar. That's when everybody's going to come out of the trenches just brat-tat-tat-tat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At everybody. But what Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to undercut the competition by allowing you to buy a pack of Pop-Tarts and get Xbox Game Pass for $1. You get some granola bar, you get it for, 50 cents for 7 years. And y'all got to remember that Xbox Game Pass for a while, remember back in the day when it first came out, you couldn't give those things away. I remember Mooch and Crap would try to give them away on the show and nobody wanted them, even the most diehard Xbox gamers. It wasn't until they came up with Game Pass Ultimate and they said, look, you can bundle Game Pass. If you go and buy several years of Xbox Live Gold, 4 years at $60 a pop or two, whatever the case may be. If you go bundle up several years and add $1 to it, you will have Xbox Live Gold Ultimate all the way up until 2023.
Plus,
right?
they sweeten it up with the PC side of things. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and they did that as well. So you got to remember that took Game Pass from like 2 to 3 million all the way up to 10 million. So you got about 8 million Game Pass subscribers that ain't paying monthly. They Gucci until 2023. Then you got Game Pass getting big ticket games.
I like
from
this
people,
now. Hold on.
From people
ahead,
that
Mark.
ain't
I
cheap.
like it.
Like Red Dead, like Rockstar and Control. Control and Remedy and Microsoft don't get along. And all this other stuff that the overhead. We've seen part of this with when Epic had their leak. We've seen how much it cost them to get Control on the Epic Game Store. Xbox is shelling out way more money for acquisitions of AAA games on Game Pass, even though they're coming months later after their initial release. They're paying a lot more money than Xbox Live Gold. So Game Pass has a lot of overhead on it. So even though they're making billions on Xbox Live Gold, they're bleeding money from these acquisitions and from the 8 to whatever million people that is paid up till 2023 that just basically loaded up on gold and is paying $1. They're not getting reoccurring revenue from them people. So because of that, and because you had COVID that made things more expensive, even though you had the revenue go up, I'm pretty sure business people looked at this. They said, oh yeah, we expected to be in the red because Disney expects to be in the red with Disney Plus. They said, we're going to lose $1 billion for 3 years and then we'll make it back in a year or two. You know what I'm saying? But they probably looked at their financials and said, we're in the red a little bit more than we expect. And they probably said, you know what? We got Paris Lily. We got so-and-so here, this person here. Everybody is saying that Xbox Game Pass is the best value in gaming.
But
we are going to officially eject those Cedo cuz everybody from Xbox Live Gold and get them on Game Pass and get out of the red. We could do this. And there just simply weren't enough people in that boardroom that had enough sense with them that said, no, that's not a great idea.
Yeah.
So that's how this happened, I believe. Let me just cover. Let me cover what this shows. What this shows, Tronny, and everybody's hit it right on the nail, but Tronny said something specific that I want y'all to talk about as well and get more thoughts on this. And Bunny said this as well. People got to realize, stop this water cooler talk about Game Pass. I'm not saying Game Pass is a bad thing. It may be a great thing for a section of people, but it's niche. It's niche. Why do I say it's niche? Less than 2% of its target demographic have adopted Game Pass. Or have adopted the Game Pass model. Game Pass is going after console people. It's going after people on PCs. And that's an accumulation of 1.6 billion gamers. Out of 1.6 billion gamers, you only have 18 million subscribers? That's less than 2%. On the flip side of that, Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus equal a third of its target demo. The target demo for Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus is 300 million when you combine all of their subscriptions They have 100 million of paid subscriptions between the two of them. That's a third of their target demo. So you're talking about a third of a target demo versus less than 2%. Or if you do the raw numbers, 18 million versus 100 million. The fact of the matter is, Game Pass, even though a lot of people like to talk about it, and in the long term, it might be a great thing, it's niche. And nobody in that Microsoft boardroom should have approved this during the middle of COVID unless they felt like there was a dire need. So we don't know what that dire need is, but what do you think it might be? Now I shut up and turn it back to the people that everybody wants to hear.
Nah, we wanted to hear that. Good breakdown.
That's exactly the breakdown. That's why I just said earlier. It was like there was something bizarre about that whole change without telling your customers, hey, there's going to be a change. They just did it right there, right then and there, without a warning to anybody. So, like you said, it's a dire need. So that means, like you said, Game Pass is not really as people think it is, and that's what everyone's saying. It is. It's we need to have Game Pass. Like, no, not everybody wants that. That's just like like PlayStation. Nobody doesn't want it. We don't need PlayStation for everything. Like the whole PlayStation Plus or Now. You don't really need that. That's optional.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm looking at this. I'm just like, damn. I mean, if you want me to buy an Xbox, but if you want me to buy an Xbox or get a PC and get something,
yes,
I will look at this and I will look like this. I will look at this like, damn. I don't need. You guys are pretty much turning me off from this console even further. You're not really. You're not getting my attention. I apologize for the dog.
That's all right. Can I throw in real quick? I just want to say this. Another thing that people got to remember too is Xbox is making a big push to be hardware agnostic, meaning if you don't buy a console, they don't give a shit, right? So can you imagine if that push is successful? You know what I'm saying? Like let's just say if the console consumer base goes to PC, guess what dissipates? That Xbox Live Gold money, because PC people don't play Xbox Live Gold. So Xbox loses a whole bunch of money. So how do you make that up? You get those people before they switch to PC on Xbox Live, Xbox Gold, Game Pass Ultimate. And that could be a reason too. I just wanted to throw that out there.
But they're kind of like, and then all of a sudden, like, how many cards do they sell at these like these stores? Like how many, Xbox cards? I mean, the little cards you get, like the PlayStation and the Nintendo. Like how much they're getting, people are buying from them. So a lot of things are questionable.
I mean, you gotta think about it like this also. The night we saw that information about how the Game Pass was going to go up, and we were like, man, that picture got to be fake and photoshopped and this, that, and the other. Remember the next night after we saw it, I went into GameStop and a lot of the Xbox Live Golds were sold out. Like there was no 1 year subscriptions. There was hardly any 6 months. But when you looked over at PlayStation and Nintendo side, they were all there. Those were loaded up. So I, struck up a conversation with the person who worked at GameStop, and she's like, I haven't heard anything about that. She's like, I hope that's fake. She said, all we were told was we weren't getting any more cards in because they were about to restructure how Xbox Live Gold was. Xbox Gold Live is. So that's the reason they didn't have like the cards and stuff they were sold out of and things. Like literally almost every subscription for Xbox Live Gold was gone.
Mm.
So, and she was like, "Oh God, I hope that's not true," because she said if it is, that's gonna suck. But that's what was going on. They weren't selling any of them.
Well, Namal's brought up a good point with the Game Pass subscription. I remember how to, I never did it, but I know some people were taking advantage of it, you know what I'm saying? Of the multi-year thing, so then they don't have to pay until 2022, 2023 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I still ask the question, y'all. I asked this question. Why the hell would they renege and go back? Why would they back up, recant, whatever? You know what I'm saying? Why would they go ahead and do that anyway, right? If it's a desperation move, if they, you know what I'm saying, Moss, if they're struggling, they're in the hole like that, shit, if you're in the hole, you say, hey, look, we're going to lose a couple million gamers, but we can't afford to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say a sinking ship. You know, Microsoft ain't no damn sinking ship.
Absolutely not. No,
but
they're making too much money. They're making too much money.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. And I get what you're saying now, because if you have all those, however many people that jumped on that opportunity to get Game Pass at $1 and then they tagged on whatever, they don't have to pay right now. So you realize there's no money coming in. And then whoever the big dogs are, the big ones in the company, are looking at the bottom line like, yo, wait a minute. We ain't hitting the target. We're not hitting that target, so to speak. You know what I mean? Right, dog? That's what's up. So
the dog agrees too.
Yeah, damn right. So,
she just barking.
No, it's all good. So no, she doesn't. So the thing is, though, when these companies, hey, look, man, I'm not gonna sit up here and say again, I'm not for the company. I'm pro consumer first, but I do.
To analyze why would they?
You have to, because we're up here. We can't always say, I want the company to do this right now. If you don't do it, I'm out. That threat is not gonna work. Too many times, you know what I'm saying? And Bunny said it. She hinted at it. She hinted at the fact that the company is going to find a way to do it. They're going to find a way to get their dollars. They're going to find a way. You know, you go back to DRM and all that stuff. DRM is still here. It's just in a different format. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what are we talking about?
Well, I'm gonna give you an answer. I'm gonna tell you why they did it, Storm. I was just sitting back waiting to see if anybody was going to say the answer. What was number one trending when all this happened? You know what was number one trending? If y'all can remember, what was trending number one on Twitter when all this was going on with Xbox?
Stadia?
Oh, yeah, the whole Bethesda thing.
PlayStation. You know why it was trending? Because people were saying, oh, F this, I'm going to PlayStation. That's why Xbox did this.
Oh, yeah, that's what, that.
Oh, you talking about that? Okay.
I mean, and you got to also think about it like this. Some of Xbox's biggest defenders, I mean, like, who
nobody
pray to the almighty Xbox, we're all saying,
nobody like
this doesn't affect me because I have Ultimate from day one.
That's true.
But Xbox, what are y'all doing here? They said this is not good because it's like you're trying to force Game Pass, and it was making all of them look bad. Because remember, a lot of Xbox's strongest followers were all telling us, "Oh, Game Pass is an option. You don't have to have Game Pass. It's just like this, just like that." Even they were coming out saying. I mean, the people who Xbox sends free stuff to were coming out saying, you're trying to force Game Pass on us, on people.
Okay.
And
ahead,
when they started doing that, it was like literally so many videos came out about it. So many people on Twitter were sitting there like, yo, Xbox, we love you, but this is not the way to go.
This ain't it. Nobody liked
it was like their biggest subscribers were telling them, hey, this ain't right. And that's I think they kind of realized at that point, hey, something's going on. I mean, when I see one of the biggest Xbox people I've known of say F Xbox, I was sitting there like, whoa, what happened?
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet as well.
Yo. Yeah. Hey, check this out. So Charles said, Storm, they reneged because, same thing Moss just covered, but they were threatening to leave the platform, but they threatened to leave the platform over every little damn thing, right? You know what I'm saying? So again, are you going to have your hands tied? Now, I want to go back to something, y'all. We had these discussions way back, man. We had these discussions on Scram Punks at the time, talking about the future of Xbox and where it was headed and all this stuff, y'all. And remember when I said 2021 is going to be that year, right? You got the series. They getting ready to upgrade to Xcloud. You know what I'm saying? They push Halo back into 2021. So remember my crazy 10-4 theories, right? they was going to try to bundle Game Pass and push Halo. I believe Halo is going to come out early for Game Pass subscribers or whatever. I feel like they're going to get access to the game first. I feel like all of this stuff's going to happen. They're going to upgrade that hardware for the Xcloud to the Series X hardware or whatever, right? They're going to make all these big moves. So now there's a wrench in the plans, I feel like. There's a wrench in the plan, and they're going to have to restructure how they were about to do that, because this was about, that's why I keep asking. We don't know what was going to be included in this new model. We don't know. We will never know unless, because now they mention it, what will gamers say? Oh shit, y'all should give it to us anyway. So they screwed either way, man. Crazy.
And also, you gotta think about, they gotta, if the budget is correct that they were saying for Halo. You know, we all heard the rumors. They were saying Halo's budget was $500 million. I think they want to make some of that money back before they just put it on Game Pass.
I mean, you think about it. I mean, you got these big budget titles that are, again, the watershed moment is going to be 2023. And in a perfect world, I think Xbox would rather, instead of raising the price of Game Pass that year, and we talked about this, Storm, on SSC's after show. It was a great conversation. Check it out. Become a member. Check that out. On shameless plug. Become a member on Stadia Dosage News. Me and Storm had a great conversation about this. In a perfect world, Microsoft does not want to raise the price of Game Pass even in 2023. They want to wait till 2024, maybe 2025. They want you to get in at $15 and be like, God damn, I'm getting Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I know I'm not saying Elder Scrolls 6.
And more. So once we got 30 to 50 million, now we could jack that.
Exactly. You know they want to so that but the only way that's feasible or fathomable is if they get a lot of these people off of Xbox, they convert them from live to Game Pass. And they were hoping with all the yellow chairs that they gave out, with all they done bought people Nokia phones and Razer Kishi $1,000 kits. They thought with all this publicity that they would buy mindshare for Game Pass, because that's all you've been hearing. Even Xbox haters, Game Pass is the greatest value, the greatest value, greatest value. I gave a scenario earlier. If I walk into a store and someone comes to me and says, sir, here goes a basket of zucchinis. There's 200 zucchinis in this basket. And I'm going to give this to you, sir, for only $15.
Why zucchini?
That might be a hell of a deal, but if I don't like zucchini, who gives a shit? It's not a value to me. Yeah. And I think what the over assumption is that just because people are willing to pay $10 to play online, that they want all these extra games and they're willing to pay another $5 a month, and that's not the case. That is not the case.
But you gotta realize.
People like,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead,
buddies, yeah, one of my buddies, he has Xbox. He has Game Pass. But you know what he plays mostly? He plays very much of mostly indies. He don't really play a lot of, top-notch games. Every now and then he would, but he's an indie dude. So it'd be perfect for people who are in indies. Yes, for Game Pass right now, but when it comes to certain games, you might play on the PlayStation or the Switch, or even on PC, you might have a more better deal. So you also have to look at that. Like, dang, you can play these same games on another console or another on PC or even the Mac. So you have to really and that is huge competition for Microsoft. I ain't gonna lie.
Microsoft, they're smart, Tronny. They're smart as hell. And I'm gonna tell you.
Don't get me wrong, they're smart, but at the same time, don't double cross your customers like you did back in 2013.
Well, they're about making money.
I will say this though. I will say this now. They got that Series X. We can't forget about it now. I know they want to push people to the cloud because the cloud's the future. And
that's being pushed back. I'm telling you.
Because of all this craziness, man. So
they need to make this date. Look, you don't go up 100% unless you really need that bottom line. So they're going to have to make that money up. And somehow, and look, another thing, or no, I'm lying. It could be the reverse, because now that they're going to stop the new paywall, they're going to stop the paywall for free to play. We've had major Xbox entities. I've had conversations with these people. They've been on this platform. People like Randolph Thor, who said, you know what I'm saying? And he made this public news, so I'm not giving any secrets that aren't known. Randolph Thor has said that the reason why Xbox had the paywall up is because it subsidizes the console sales because they haven't done well in the console space like Sony has. Like they haven't sold as many consoles. So because they haven't sold as many consoles, what help keeps costs down because you lose money with consoles with the hope that you sell a whole bunch and you sell a whole bunch of software to help keep that cost down. What Microsoft did is they had to paywall up to subsidize that loss in potential revenue that they weren't getting because of their console sales. Now you're throwing that away. So you got to do something. So that means, Storm, I'm sorry, what you were saying earlier may be true. They might be pushing for Xcloud sooner rather than later so they don't have to worry about that cost of the console.
They told us the path. We just don't. One thing we know about gamers,
Also,
sometimes we get sidetracked and we don't pay attention to what the hell the corporations say, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it happened with Stadium Malls. You know us, right? They
Mm-hmm.
gave us clear cut timelines and everything, and then people asked for timelines and all that when they already said, "Here's our kind of like a tentative timeline or roadmap." Now,
but oh,
but
go quick. I'm sorry about
now
that.
I was just gonna say, Xbox again, people, we don't know. Now, this is where they screwed up. They screwed up because they didn't say, all right, Tronny, I know you don't rock with Xbox, but guess what? What if we give you all these games right here and we charge you only $120 a year? $120 a year, but you can access to over 30 to 50 titles exclusively on Game Pass, whether that be PC or Series X, right? This is what the verbiage that should have been coming out for all Xbox gamers. Now, even if you can't afford that, well, that's okay. We'll stick to what you know already then. You know what I mean? But still, you're gonna get more for
It's
your
a
money. That's
PR
what they should
move.
have did. That's what they should have
Mm,
did more of. They should have been showing
Yeah.
people like we got these upcoming games. Boom, here's an exclusive demo right now for it. Boom, get ready for it.
Slowly,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
slowly transition your customers to say, hey, this is something that's coming out. This is what we're going to start with. This is the price it's going to be. And they'll look at it. If people are more agreeable, they might do it. But if people are disagreeing a lot more than usual, then they might just stay back. And they should have stayed back and watch and see right there. Just making sure they let people know. I'm just
Right,
saying,
because the
like,
number one complaint
if
from
this was
all of
this,
them
go ahead.
were the number one
Yeah.
complaint was it was two. It was the pandemic, but more than the pandemic was
Mhm.
y'all not even giving us nothing to
For that
indicate why.
price,
Yeah, you
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Why you're jacking the price up.
That's what made it suspicious. And also, if this was Sony or Nintendo start doing something similar to this, they would have been all on their ass. People would have been on there. There would have been more news headlines about this than it is now with Xbox. There would have been more issues. Like people would be like, "Oh my God, y'all, why you could do this?" This actually will hurt them. So
Well,
that's why I said I think if any company does this, they would got more flock for it.
we
That
damn
and
sure
that's why we don't. That's why I said I'm not choosing. I'm not saying this to be mean to Xbox dudes. No, I'm not being mean to Xbox dudes or Microsoft or just Xbox company as a division. I'm just saying this as a customer as well. I like to see companies do better, and now this is a good time for companies to do better and quit trying to cheap everyone else out of money.
right.
We're getting tired of that shit.
Yeah.
It's starting to
And
become
see, you heard
really
that,
tiring.
and again, Trani is a supporter of. She's pro consumer first. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But we beat the brakes off this one, Moss. Man, what we got next for the people?
Well,
Oh,
If
I'm
you
next.
sorry. We
no
went
no
No,
no
all
that's
no
fine.
no
down
No,
the
I'm
no,
saying
it was
no.
a
list.
great, it
We
was a
all
great
did.
discussion,
No,
and it
we
was one
all
that
engaged,
yeah,
in
and
that
it
one.
kind of like
Yeah.
fell in between us having the like catching the stuff on Reddit and then it actually happened and getting reversed. So it was a great discussion. But
Oh yeah.
next up on the docket is fans should forget about Bayonetta 3 for now since Platinum's Hideki Kamiya. Snow Bunny, you want to talk about this a little bit and put everybody up to speed of what's going on here?
So, the dude over, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name.
I just butchered
Uh,
it.
yeah, it says that fans should, because everybody's so anticipating it, should forget it and put it on the back burner. That way, when the news is announced, it'll be a great surprise to everyone.
So they're
Yes.
basically saying that this is way off, right?
I think it is, but I'm thinking something crazy's going on because remember how I was always saying that I felt that Bayonetta was in developmental hell and that
Yep.
Mm,
something was going on with it because of the way Wonderful 101 went.
okay.
Hmm.
Also, another thing broke today. Platinum Games announced that Nintendo fully owns the rights now to Astral Chain.
Hmm.
Wow.
Remember, Wonderful 101 was only on Nintendo Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what does it
And
mean to the platform?
so what happened was with Wonderful 101, you remember Nintendo went to uh Platinum Games and Platinum Games made it, put it only on Nintendo because Nintendo funded it. Well, they wanted to put Wonderful 101 multi-console. They want to be their own developer. They want to be their own publisher. Well, Nintendo was like, "Hey, good luck with that. You gotta get the funds for it yourself." That's when they did that whole crowdfunding thing.
Yeah.
And then come to find out, they said that they didn't really need it. They were just doing it to see what everybody's response would be for it. So right now, I think what's going on with Bayonetta is I think Platinum wants to make it multi-platform. And right now, they just
Oh.
getting out of negotiations with Nintendo, and Nintendo took their entire Astral Chain IP. Because you remember, everybody was saying, "Well, it's a possibility it could go to PC or other consoles." But right now, Nintendo fully owns the IP completely now.
They bought it. Yep.
Yeah. So we don't know right now what's happening over at Platinum Games, and I think that's the reason Bayonetta's in developmental hell because I think Platinum wants to take it multi-plat, and Nintendo's sitting here like, "Hey, we funded this game. We funded part two when the developers of Bayonetta wanted to make a second part to Bayonetta. They took it to Xbox. They took it to Sony. They said, no, we don't want to do it. Nintendo backed it at the time. That's the reason it was only on the Wii U.
Hmm.
So something's odd going on over there. We don't know what's going on completely yet, but
Oh, it's
something's
a lot.
going on.
Yeah, and I noticed that the Bayonetta because they showed that trailer. Everybody was all excited, and I'm sitting here looking at, damn, this is starting to remind me of Metroid Prime all over again. Because right now everybody getting excited about Metroid Prime, and then it's like we haven't heard anything after that. It's like, well, yeah, it was in development hell, and now they had the original team start back on the project again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so when it comes to when titles like that. I get excited for it because believe me, I will definitely be on that Metro Prime stuff because I want to get back into that franchise myself. But at the same time, I just don't want to see Bayonetta just being tossed to the side for other projects because I know this is I can't pronounce his name either. I do apologize. But I know this is one of his babies. This is like one of his like timely baby. He loves this game as well because we could tell this is one of his because this is one of the I think Platinum's game that I enjoy as well. I enjoy Bayonetta. Big fan of her. But at the same time, I wish Sony and or Microsoft would have been more supportive of the second game. Because after when the second game came out, everybody's like, "Oh, now I want to play it," and everything else. And I'm pretty sure they saw the success of it. They're just like, "Well, damn,"
Mm-hmm.
because right now, even I'm sitting here like, y'all were stupid just to deny a second game.
Yeah.
I've
That
learned a
was
lot
the
from
most dumbest
Nintendo
thing.
recently. Is it true, or am I just from the outside looking in that they've gone like radio silent? Is that true?
No, 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 no.
You
They have gone
know.
right. This is the first thing I've heard from Nintendo in a few
Mm-hmm.
weeks. They've been like I said. The only other things we hear about, which is more common than you think, is they getting hit with another class action lawsuit from Canada this time about Joy-Con drift. I mean, that's an ongoing thing. It's like we hear about a new lawsuit about Joy-Con drift. We're like, oh, that's nothing new.
It's
But
Yeah,
it's
it isn't.
amazing that all this is going on with Nintendo, and they still are crushing it month to month in NPD. They're still killing
Well,
it
you know
every
Yeah,
month
what?
in
yeah.
And
NPD.
you
Oh,
know
you
what?
know why?
oh, and there's another thing that came out.
Oh, cool.
Monster Hunter Rise is getting a special collector's edition Switch and a Pro controller. Right now,
What?
it's been announced that they are going to be released in Japan, Australia, and Europe. We have no word yet about North America.
Ah, don't do this again. This is like the second. I swear to God, it's like all the good stuff goes to other countries. When it comes to North America, it's always I don't know. It's always like same thing with
And
PlayStation games. The same too. It's like give us
and
some good
and,
collection deals.
and if you like the Pro controller is going to be black and gold. It's a all black
Mm.
controller with one of the main monster of Monster Hunter Rise, Rav, some name I can't pronounce, or Magna somewhat, is his gold relief on the front of the Pro controller.
Oh.
And the Switch looks awesome also as decorations on the dock in black and gold, and the Joy
Mm.
Cons are decorated
Mhm.
dark gray and stuff.
Mhm.
But other than that, Nintendo's been radio silent.
So, well,
Why they're always been real silent,
the
and
radio
that
silence
scares
hasn't
me
stopped
too.
her, hasn't stopped them pimp slapping everybody. I mean, PlayStation 5, of course, with the release is seeing dollar units or dollar amounts, on par. But as far as units sold and top 10 games, Nintendo was killing it. All right, and anything else in regards to this before we move on?
No.
No, not really.
All right. Let's see here. Our homie Charles, I just want to get everybody's thoughts on this real quick. Charles Aran put an interesting article up in here. He put it in the Stadia War Room chat. And we could just go over this real quick. With a simple question. Do y'all believe this, yes or no? PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC part shortages won't end soon, says AMD. So basically, Lisa Sue is like, don't expect anything from us to, the uptick in production anytime soon. What do you guys think it means for the PC parts in the console space?
That you're not getting them in that timeline that we heard about. April might end up being
Mm-hmm.
May or June if
Yep.
we
Mm-hmm.
if they're not careful. So I
I
think it's
mean,
a
the
bad
first
situation, man. I really do. Go ahead, Bunny.
I mean, the first time I heard that there was gonna be a shortage, I had heard that we weren't going to get it till like um June. That's when I heard the
Mm-hmm.
first time
I
I
heard April
heard
to May.
about the
Yep.
shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I heard it was not going to be until June when
I
it
heard
get
July.
Oh, I heard April. So
I, I
and
heard
no,
July.
April was the newest one. Like where everybody was asking about it, the latest last thing I heard was April.
right,
Okay, after April, I heard it wasn't going to be until, I mean, before that, like when we first started hearing about it, I had heard it wasn't going to be until June, July when we were going to see less of a shortage.
Mm.
and remember we had this conversation about this in the beginning, like that these
Mhm,
companies knew this was going to happen. They had to know it. They
mhm,
know their products. You know what I'm saying? They have to
mhm,
communicate with the people that's making the damn parts for the for the consoles and PC.
mhm,
So they launched them anyway. So yo, it's amazing though, man. Like how I just don't understand how businesses make moves like this, like CD Project Red and Cyberpunk and all that stuff, and then like these consoles drop, knowing that it was going to be shortages, knowing that there's a pandemic, knowing that people were going to be trying to get these things for the holidays and everything. Millions of people missed out on Christmas, for example. It's just Man, but I guess they have to stay again. They have to make this loot. They got to get that money, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan. Storm, you know the issue that I had. We talked about it. Guess what? Guess what? Finally came back today. You and I even got to say it finally came back today. So I'm gonna check it out.
Oh,
Make
oh,
sure.
oh,
You know
oh,
what
I
I'm saying?
got it.
You know what I
Got
mean?
you.
Finally came back after 2 months. But I'm going to check it out, make sure. But I loved, for instance, like I loved having a PlayStation 5 because the capabilities of the console, it just wasn't ready yet. And these console makers were so afraid of giving a leg up to their competition that they said, we're Xbox, PlayStation wasn't ready as far as the yield. Xbox wasn't ready as somewhat because of yield and because they had nothing to introduce the console with. I think they both should have waited, you know what I'm saying, till the end of this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Oh, I have something to say about that one too. That's one of the things I said like last year. I said even when we had the pandemic, I said, dude, they gotta wait till put these consoles out next year because there's no way you're gonna have anything available. And not just me. I think Snowbunny said it too. That we started to notice where like there's also why and this is what I'm really thinking about the place. I've been looking at that UI for the PlayStation, and let's just be honest. I feel like it's not finished. After looking at people looking at that UI, I feel like it was supposed to be more to it, and they just quickly just put it together. That's just me.
No, I can dig that.
Because
I
it
can dig
just
that.
yeah, because I'm looking at it,
were
it's like,
ready.
it looks so empty. It just looks so empty. I'm not saying that it looks bad. I
Yeah.
really don't like the UI design. Um, for the PS5,
Yeah, I see what
I
you're
feel
saying.
like
It feels like there should be
yeah.
more to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're putting that much money into that console, I feel like there should be more to it. And
I think
Xbox,
they looked
like
at it
UI,
like
the same
this,
thing.
Tronny. They said, look, we got
hmm
the dual sense. It's going to blow people's minds. We got that together. We got the games. So what the GUI ain't ready? We'll send out a patch
I
in a month
mean,
or two.
it's but they still don't even have all the games. They had
hmm
announced all these games and that they were ready, but right now we've heard about they're already pushing back Returnal by 30 days.
Yeah, that was a hurt
We
I
piece. I was interested
mean,
in that one. That was a hurt piece.
no,
but
but my
I
point
mean, I'm
is
okay with that. We just don't want to see another.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to
Another
see
you don't
another.
want
Yeah,
another cyberpunk?
we don't want
no,
a
but my
cyberpunk again. No.
yeah, but my point is that's going back to what we're saying.
hmm
With both you and Tronny is saying, Tronny is saying that UI wasn't ready yet because
hmm
it's a basic UI. I
hmm
mean, it's not as basic as the Switch, I don't think, but it's a
hmm
basic
No,
UI.
it looks very
But
basic.
you going back and what you saying, Moss, is they didn't want to give their leg up to their competition.
Yeah.
We already know Microsoft was having already an issue because their biggest launch title wasn't ready to launch.
Yeah.
Okay. PlayStation came here and rushed theirs out. And then but now their games are getting pushed back.
hmm
And we don't even know when some of the games are going to be announced yet for them.
Yeah.
So it goes back to okay, you're already pushing games back and it's the first of the year. Something wasn't ready on their end either.
Yeah. And it could be AMD. Like Charles said in a thing to summarize the article. And Storm, what do you think about this? Lisa Sue is saying late 2021. I've been calling this since launch. Another lockdown is looming. I have near supernatural intuition. I can feel. No, I'm with you, Charles. Like, I mean, they're already talking. Look, I mean, I don't want to get political and all that other stuff. If this is getting political, but they're telling us that there's a super strand out there with a cape and a mullet. You know what I'm saying? That's out there waiting to attack us again. Like it's only a matter of time if this stuff is true that there's going to be another lockdown. It's going to hamper production again. It's going to be like August, September, October of 2020 all over again. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? What do you think about that, Storm?
Man, it's funny as hell that, and the situation ain't funny as hell. But me and Kill again, I go back to
Mhm.
Kill. Me, him, man, Ether, man, my homies that I rock with on this game and when I'm outside of the stadium community, man. Hey, look, we just had this conversation. So what Charles is saying, I get exactly what he's saying right there. You know what I'm saying? It's just hopefully it doesn't come to that, y'all. But damn, I mean, hey, if that happens, that'd be a catastrophe, man. Like if
Yeah.
you just think about it, like, damn. I'm a gamer. You're a gamer. Tronny's a gamer. Bunny's a gamer. Everybody in this chat, everybody showed up. Man, we're all gamers, right? This is what we need everything to flow. Now, gaming won't be the end of the world for us, but shit. Yo, I don't know. Somebody else get it. I don't know what to think, man. If you telling me that there's already shortages and I still don't have a PS5 because of these shortages right now, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me that I might have to wait even longer? You telling me that
Well,
Jeez, at least I'm lucky
I'm
enough to have this
I'm
Series
gonna
X.
tell you. I'm
Thankfully,
gonna
I
tell
jumped
you
on
who this
that.
is bad for.
Go ahead.
This is bad for AMD. And it's good for Nvidia. Now, just to give y'all a little background here, me and Project Storm, we were looking for Nvidia cards, right? We were looking for 3000 series cards. My brother called me up on a Friday, right after the show, as a matter of fact, of us filming this show, I think
Yep.
it was. And my brother was like, "Hey, look, man, I got the 3000 series card. I'm eyeballing it." I said, "Oh, what you looking at? Give me the web link." Boop, 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 boop. Bought that bug, right? He was hot. He was like, "Come on, Moss, why you do that?" I was like, "I didn't know you was serious." So
Yeah.
he ended up getting his 3080, right?
Hey, we don't care if you got your PS5, bro. Hey, your ass out the chat, man. Don't you got something to do? Hey, we about to
Hey,
come out there
kill,
playing. But go
kill,
ahead,
and
Moss.
get him
Yeah, the
killed.
3080. You right though. Go ahead, man.
Get him killed. But yeah, he got the 3080, but we had to do a lot of looking. Shout out to Grace Yang of the Stadia community managers. You know what I'm saying? She was looking for one. We was trying to help her find one too, right? And so then I went to Storm and I was like, Storm, I'm gonna go to all these websites and I'm gonna send you instant mail. Like as soon as they restock, I'm gonna get you emails. I done got hit with 5 emails from Newegg, from BHP, all these places that got 3000 series now. 3000 series is out the wazoo. So if you're AMD and you're telling me that you don't have enough stock to meet the demand on console and PC, that's not good for AMD.
It's not
I
at
mean, I
all.
don't know. What y'all think about that? Oh, excuse me. What y'all think about that?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Remember, we were already saying AMD. Remember one thing everybody was saying: AMD is kicking Stadia, not Stadia, but AMD is kicking NVIDIA's rear.
Mm-hmm.
Right now,
And it ain't looking like it.
uh,
It ain't looking like it.
right now, there's a shortage out here, y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's real.
It's
We
real out
we
here.
we can't get our supply up. So
Yeah.
what are the people going to do who can't get the newest console? I mean, newest chips. They can't get that beautiful AMD chip. You think they waiting 2 years for an update, an upgrade?
Well, they don't have to wait that if they pay 2,500 for the PC side of things or 1,200 for a
Yeah,
console or
that's
something. I
crazy.
mean,
I
That's
mean,
shit.
no,
crazy.
no. But my point is you think okay on the console side you're screwed because you waiting on AMD because they got contracts with AMD. But on the PC side, you think those people are going to be waiting? They're going to go right on out here and get that NVIDIA card, that new high tech
Yep.
30 whatever. They're going to
Yep.
go right on and buy that bad boy.
And
If you think they're going to wait, they're not going to wait at least a year before it gets restocked. Now on the
Bunny.
console side, you're screwed.
That's why I'm on Newegg. Marston talked it up now. I'm just looking right now, right? So I'm on Newegg and I'm seeing prices for the PC. I built my PC for around maybe about 16, 17, between 16 to $1,700, right?
Mm-hmm.
$24.99 for the same a similar bill to the one I built, right? Then they go as high as like MSI $39.25, $4,075 for 3080 bills, y'all.
Mm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's
Yeah.
crazy. But go ahead though.
I was
I
gonna
mean
say
that's
this.
the thing.
I was gonna say this real quick that to your point, Bunny, I think they're screwed on the console side because it was just a given. We're gonna sign these, we're gonna sign for these SOCs with AMD, and we're gonna get these wafers, and they're gonna power our consoles. Now they can't do anything about it this gen, I don't think, even with mid-gen refreshes. But next gen, this might make console. If AMD still can't catch up to Nvidia, because that's why they're invested in them. They're like, this AMD technology at some point in time, is going to overtake Nvidia. But if they still just ever so close, but just can't make the mark, you may run into a situation next gen where Nvidia is going to be powering all these consoles again.
I was about to say, Mars, man, damn, I was going to say that. I was waiting for you to not say it so I could steal the damn thunder, bro. Hey, I was Bunny. I swear, y'all, I was just about to say, you see how Nintendo is rocking with Nvidia, but imagine if Nvidia sweetened that deal to say we could power your cloud with ray tracing, real ray tracing, not that fake shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let us power your cloud now, and then all the focus will shift back to Nvidia.
And then, but you guys got to think about like this. Okay, we're saying console side is screwed. Basically, Xbox and Microsoft are screwed. They're the ones waiting on AMD. Nintendo can sneak in there with it.
Yeah.
But Nintendo can sneak in there with their new console if they're using NVIDIA.
Gosh, they kill a game, and they can kill the game, but you know what? They won't do it because it's Nintendo.
No,
they won't do it, Bunny.
But what I'm saying is, we don't know because, like I said, just like Moss said, they've been radio silent right now.
Yeah.
Last time they were this radio silent is when they came out that November and said, "Here's the Switch. You'll be able to purchase it in March." Think about it like that.
Oh, listen, Bunny. I still don't have no confidence in them saying it live right now. It ain't gonna happen. They'll come out with a Switch Pro type model or a new dock first, something like that, rather than go all new console. Ain't no way they're gonna do it fresh off the cusp of the Switch release, like only 3 years ago or some shit. I just can't see it.
Actually, March will be the 4th year anniversary.
Oh, okay. Well, it's printing money still. Why pull the plug on, or why even go there with it? You know what I'm saying? I just can't see it happen.
But yeah, like I said, that's another aspect we have to look at, y'all. We don't know what's going on, and especially if they're being radio quiet the way they are. And right now they're looking at this, they're seeing all of these shortages.
I hear it. And it makes absolute sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. It does make sense for Nintendo, who already has that partnership, to come over and take the damn just mess up the game. You know what I mean? They could do that. They could easily do that, and they can come in at around $400. You see, the PS4, the PS5 is around $400, and then the Series S is $299. They could come in at $400 and shake things up real bad.
Shake things up. They should be killer.
And they got the cloud component. Yeah.
I think we got time for one more topic.
Okay, let's do it.
And as promised, because on the title, I think we can squeeze this in. The cloud gaming war. It's reached new heights this week. We had Digital Trends. You may see them a lot on Twitter. They've been doing compares of Google Stadia versus GFN versus Luna versus Shadow. And they've been giving the edge to Google Stadia on each of them. But then GFN got 7 new games, including the Medium. I want to talk about the Medium just a little bit as a connection to this. But Google Stadia got Madden. And the Madden port right before the Super Bowl is fantastic. It's superb. I call it the king of ports now, meaning it's taken the prior king of ports on Stadia was Division 2. It was the de facto way to play a game on not just on Stadia, but Division 2 anywhere. It was better than any version of Division 2 anywhere, including PC, because it included Stream Connect. But then amidst this, I just saw a report too about Amazon Luna just got ahead an expose done on it from from Jason Schreier, and he's hammering Amazon, saying that Amazon can do everything right except make a good game. They're talking about Crucible and New World, the games that they had that kind of New World. people were saying positive things about, but then I fizzled as far as what's going on with it. But the Crucible just got dogged out. So my question is that from what we all know, who do we think kind of has like a little bit more predominance now in the cloud space? Would it be Google Stadia getting Madden on the platform finally? GFN getting the medium with some type of ray tracing on it, or would it be Amazon Luna with Rainbow Six Siege? Just guessing. If you were given a choice, and even for those for like Tron and Bunny that normally don't play cloud gaming, if I said, hey, look, you got to pick one. Google Stadia got Madden.
What's the
Google
choices
Stadia
again?
got Madden, and they got Journey to the Savage Planet. I'll throw that in there too. Amazon Luna got Rainbow Six Siege, and GFN got the medium. Which is heavier? Which one would pull you in fastest?
The medium.
The medium on GFN.
Uh-huh.
Now speaking of medium, Storm and or
Yo.
whoever,
Yo,
what's going on with this whole ray tracing thing? This issue with the medium.
I tell you this right now. The settings of the game was kind of confusing as hell. Like I went between 4K to 1440p, ray tracing high, ray tracing ultra, and all that stuff. Ray tracing at times, there's certain parts of the game where it does look beautiful, like some reflections off of windows and stuff like that. But as far as like the ray trace shadows and lighting and all that shit, I really wasn't like looking extra next gen. The game is beautiful now, but it wasn't looking. It wasn't a noticeable difference like you would see in a Battlefield 5 or something with that ray tracing implementation. It wasn't nowhere close to that from what I saw. And performance wise, it really does. Like at times, my frame rates dip during cutscenes and stuff like that. Man, it's just inconsistent. So if they can iron those things out, the game itself seems to be interesting as hell. It reminds me of Alan Wake and Resident Evil, like a combo of those two.
Okay.
And I was liking the storyline. I think the game is going to be kind of dope once I get deeper into it.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely played on a 3080, man, with ray tracing and DLSS and all that stuff. And they need to roll out a couple patches, but I loved the game. I enjoyed the game.
Tronny, between those three choices, I'm telling you, Stadia got
I ain't
Madden.
get a chance to say mine. Can I go out?
I'm sorry. You know what we lying at. So
Yeah.
I was going to do us
yeah.
last. I was going to get the ladies out of the way so they can dog. Like, who cares about cloud gaming this poop soup? But Tronny, what would you pick first? Would you go to the medium first on GFN like Bunny? Would you be like, oh, Journey to the West and Madden's on Stadia, let me get that a shot? Or would you be inclined to jump on Rainbow Six Siege on Amazon Luna?
So what's the one on Stadia? What's the
It
one?
was
You
Journey
said
to the
Journey
Savage
to
Planet. He said Journey to the West. I don't know that.
Did I
Old
say Journey
Milwaukee.
to the
That was
West?
it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Old
you
Yeah,
Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee, man. So Journey to a Savage Planet, and then Madden on Stadia. All right. And then it's GFN got the medium, and then Luna got Rainbow Six Siege. Which one would you be inclined to jump on? If you had to pick one.
If I pick one, Journey to the Planet.
Oh, that's
That
Stadia.
sounds actually, yeah, it sounds interesting. I don't know what it's about. I will definitely go check it out. But if
Yeah,
I
check
could
it out.
look at people
You
play
might
it,
like it.
Yeah.
Shit.
It puts you in the mind
but
of a
that's
No
what I
Man's
would go
Sky
for.
with more action. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I prefer something with more action at least. Okay, that's good. The medium was gonna be my second option. Because that looks like a interesting horror looking game. But at the same time, like I said, everyone was asking me, this game is bad or is it good? I said depends on who's playing it. Also, so I think a lot of we were talking when I was want to talk about the ray tracing though. My biggest issue.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about it, but they don't know what it really is. Right?
Yeah.
And people use ray tracing as like the big word, like graphics is more higher, frame rates, all this other stuff. But I'm sitting here like, is that just bringing bragging up the color, giving more contrast, and just getting more like texture pop, the texture coming out a little bit more? Because that's all when I see ray tracing, that's pretty much what I see,
Nah.
and
Oh, okay. I was
it's
gonna
more
say, go
to
ahead.
it. It is more to it. I know. I'm just saying that's what I see when people talk about ray tracing. They always talk about like contrast and everything. And it's like okay, or the game is a lot faster and everything else. But I'm sitting here like, but my question is, do you guys actually want to play these games, or are you just going by what the populace says about ray tracing? Like it
Well,
starts
So
um
Storm,
valid.
go ahead.
Can you
I
do
want to
this?
make sure she was done. I want to make sure she was done
Oh yeah.
first.
Oh, I just want to know because it's like it's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either because that's all with the gaming community, well, mostly the console community. That's all they talk about, and I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, that's nice and all, but my question is like, I just want to know if the game's coming out. I really don't care, and it's kind of like you cannot jump to a topic without someone. It's sort of like the T flop argument, you know? Everybody talk about and I'm sitting here like it just become a word like everyone just throws out but don't really know what it is. Like I said, I really don't know what it is completely, but I'm pretty sure it's got to the point where somebody PC is looking at this and rolling their eyes and saying these console peasants. But I'm just it's becoming more like that's what I'm looking at. There's just no I don't know. It's a
I
word
got
that's been
you.
thrown around. It's being thrown around with no real substance to it. That's pretty
So
I
much what
got
I'm
you.
Storm,
saying.
Yeah.
can you
What
do
up?
this? Can you give what system you would pick per the game, and then give a breakdown
All right.
for Tronny about ray tracing?
So I'm a rock with Stadia because I played that Madden port and I played that Rainbow Six over on Luna as
Oh,
well.
you
You know what
did?
I'm saying?
Okay,
And Rainbow Six, yeah, the Rainbow Six is a good experience. Over there
okay,
on Luna. Now, don't get it wrong with the ultra settings and all that. The game ran pretty damn good, but Madden,
yeah.
yo, I played Madden on Series X. I played Madden on Xbox One X. Madden is dope as hell. I ain't got to get into that because we're short on time. Yo, dope as hell on Stadia, and I'm sure Moss will get back into it. But look, Journey to a Savage Planet is the perfect game to come over here to Stadia for multiple reasons. Like it got very positive review scores on Steam, on the PC side of things. So it's going to be the perfect game for Stadia to get. And I hear that's coming to Pro free, free for Pro members maybe, or discounted or whatever the case is going to be. I don't know, bro, but I
Okay.
know there's going to be one of those ones that you could get lost in. It's going to be a game that Stadia needs right now. Um, I think it's going to be dope, and it's coming with additional content and everything for the platform. So, or
Okay.
exclusive content. So I picked that. I picked that
Oh,
combo.
that's the
Now,
reason why. Oh, go ahead. Sorry
oh
about
no, no,
that.
no. I was going to jump into the medium, but go ahead. Say what you was going to say real quick.
Oh, I was saying when you guys said it's kind of like have combat and it's sort of like No Man's Sky. I've been all for that because one, I have No Man's Sky for the PlayStation, and I pre-ordered that thing even though they canceled it and
So did
I
I.
got my pre-order back.
No, I got it
Yeah,
on
and
sale. My
then
bad. I got it on sale for like $23.99.
yeah, I got it when it first came out, and I was looking for the combat. 'Cause they talk about air combat, air combat and all that stuff. They have that now, but I still have trouble with it. Like certain, like I had to get back and I had to get used to it. But if they have something like that on this version of this game, that's Savage Planet. If they have their own air combat and all that other stuff, I would be all for it because I used to love those type of games.
Yeah, it might be less
Anyways.
tedious than No Man's Sky, from what I'm seeing,
Mhm.
but it looks like it could be fun as hell. It just looks like a vibrant world that you could do multiple things and all that stuff. And
Is it first person or third person?
that's a good ass question. No Man's Sky is definitely both, I think. I don't know. We're gonna have to look at it. I thought I saw character angles. I mean, character models. I mean, shit, cameras or whatever. Third person, first. I don't know. We'll see. Got to look into
Mhm.
that one. But back to the ray tracing thing, man. I tell you right now, right? When it comes to ray tracing, y'all, I'm big on visuals, and I know Bunny's over there sitting there shaking her head like, "Here it go, here it is, here." Yo, I love visuals in these games because some of these games, people like they get scared of Resident Evil, for example, because it reminds you of some realistic shit that could really happen. Like if you play Resident Evil and then with all the lights off and you think you hear some of your crib, see, it adds to that. It heightens the tension and the mood and realism and all that stuff, right? Ray tracing adds that element. Charles broke it down and said it's basically like how the environment interacts with light and all that stuff, shadows and reflections, right? 3 big components of ray tracing. But I'll tell you this: go outside when it's raining, right? Get in your car, go for a little drive down the street. Look at how the light and the headlights from the other cars reflect off the road. That shit ain't just drive with no other headlights on the road, right? You know what I'm saying? It has these reflections and it looks so good. Like when you walk in front of a mirror, you're not a vampire like on the Order 1886 where you don't see your reflection, right? You see your reflection, right? So it adds this whole element of realism, but what it does is taxes the hell out of the hardware that we currently have, which is why NVIDIA, thankfully, they implemented DLSS to help with ray tracing and stuff like that, Tronny. So when you see these games with ray tracing and stuff, oh yeah, it's gonna be a more beautiful experience in most cases.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. People looking at the like everything's been high, like amped up, like all the
Yeah.
brightness and everything. That's what I was saying. Like the air. That's what I'm saying. That's what everyone talks about.
See,
At the same
HDR
time,
adds all that brightness, like that, the color pop and brightness and stuff like that you're talking about
yeah,
to add that
HDR, yeah, the
realism.
HDR and all that stuff. But when I look at ray tracing, people try to confuse HDR and ray tracing all the time. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You do get that a
okay,
lot.
so that's why it gets confusing when it comes to the talks and everything. That's why I said I'm not an expert on the graph fidelity, and that's why I don't really talk about it. But
Yeah, I
at the
got
same
you.
time, I get irritated because I'm just like, okay, I should be because I did graphic designing, but graphic design is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
But
got it.
it's because we go by the new color palette, the what's it, RBG
Yeah,
to CY. What's that other one?
I know
CY.
exactly what you're saying. I can't think
I
of
forgot
it.
those
And it's
colors.
right there.
Yeah,
It's in the settings. It's in the
yeah,
settings of
those
everything.
those are those settings are also in our TVs and also consoles. They do have those same settings, but at the same time, I look at this like, listen, if you spend 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes talking about this, it doesn't matter what system you're on, then I don't know, man. I don't think you're really a gamer. You're just a not even someone who's into graphics. You're just someone who just want to talk about it to make it sound like your console is better when technically it's not.
Yeah, that's the
Because
enthusiast level stuff. Enthusiast is
yeah,
the word. You know what I'm saying?
because your console is not the game. Your console what programs the game to get better. And I think that's what people are forgetting. And when you start becoming more enthusiastic, when you start telling people like, oh, I'm not saying your console's garbage or
For
nothing
those
like
of you,
that, but when you start telling people like, yeah, but this is a graphics, like, okay, but what game are you playing on there? But you play an older game and it doesn't look that great,
yeah,
but you're sitting there just giving all
on
this
news that
praising, but I'm just like, okay, but you need a newer game to actually get the full version of what you're looking for. You need something to show that what it has.
Well, here's
I
the
think
deal.
that's what's
Wh-
going on now.
I would say all games need ray tracing. All games. You know why? Because it adds an element of like it just adds that cool factor, that realism
Hmm.
to these games. Now, I'm not saying all of these games should have
Like
ray tracing
8-bit.
run at 8 frames per second. I'm not saying if it's gonna make the game run at lower than 30 frames per second, I prefer 60. But if it's gonna do that, then hell no. But if they can figure out a way to add ray tracing, people complain about everything, Johnny. They complain about 720p. They're gonna complain about ray tracing right in the beginning. They're gonna be like, it's useless, it's worthless, until they start seeing the beauty and the realism that it provides. But anyway,
Oh, oh,
yeah,
one more thing. What is up with this? People talk about the 900.
100p.
Uh, yeah. Why is everybody so hype up on that,
listen,
or why is so down about it? I don't know. It's just
Because in 2021, no way we should be talking about less than 1080p. We really
Let's
should be
put it
talking
this
about
way.
1440p and higher, but we're still talking about
Mhm.
720p and 900p for some dumbass reason. I don't know. That's why.
And another thing is the reason people are also saying talking about the 900p is because that's lower than what the Switch resolution is docked.
Oh, holy
The
shit.
Switch docked is 1080p and 720p in handheld in most cases.
What about
So
that texture work over there on that Switch though? I seen the
no,
Switch
no,
games.
no,
They
no,
look
no,
some of them look beautiful as
but
hell.
what I'm saying is people right now, Storm, remember how Storm was screaming, nothing should be less than 4K 60 frames per second going into this gen.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, um, the medium is dipping to 900p on the
Ah,
X, not on the S is dropping to like it can drop to 600p at times.
Oh, that
But
game and it dips on PC as well. Trust me.
yeah, so it's dipping to
Not
like
that damn low. Not that low.
yeah, but on the X, the powerhouse, it's dipping to 900p.
I
That's not,
see.
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say
At,
resolution. Let me correct that. I'm saying FPS is dipping, but not the resolution. The resolution is locked on
Oh,
the game.
okay.
Game is beautiful on PC. I'm glad I
yeah,
have one.
and
Well, I
it's
will
also
believe that.
and
Yeah, I
Tronny,
believe
it's
it.
also 30 frames per second, not 60 frames, I don't
Here,
think,
and
is it?
here's I think the biggest problem is that again, and I know people are going to look at this and they're like, "Damn, all y'all do is target Xbox," and that's not what I'm trying to do. But
Never. We're not doing
but
that.
history is repeating itself when you don't hold standards. We had the same argument over Quantum Break almost 6-7 years ago. Remember when Quantum Break was 900p and everybody was jumping out their shoes and socks? And Microsoft said, we're never going to run into that again. Because if y'all do the research, because I've done videos on this, Phil Spencer I didn't think it was such a big deal because I think Quantum Break looked good. It was, the first game that used dynamic resolution, but, PlayStation people used it at their advantage, right? They're like, oh, you games are 900p, 1080-60 makes you a better gamer, loser, right? So Phil vowed never to experience that again. Hence why you have the moniker, the most powerful console. And now you've been asked to pay $500, right? In a lot of ways. Because it's the Xbox Series X version that dips down to 900p. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, the Series X
The Series
version.
X. You're asked to pay an additional $500 after you just paid $500 for the One X. Not you're paying another $500 for the Series X to still be dealing with 900p at 30 frames per second. Think
And
about it.
I don't even know. I mean,
Hey,
like,
you
the
know how I
thing
feel about it, man.
is,
We'll go over another half an hour. Go ahead, man, because
I was
shit,
just gonna
I'm
say,
ready. Yeah, but I gotta pull something in a few minutes. I gotta pull something off where I gotta meet up with
Oh yeah,
crew.
yeah, we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
We
yeah,
go.
go
Oh
ahead,
damn,
Bunny.
we 2
Yeah,
hours
I
and
was just,
yeah,
almost
yeah,
50
yeah,
I was
minutes
yeah.
just
over.
gonna say, like, right now, it's kind of, and then right now people are using the excuse now. Well, it's a third party game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it's kind of like it's always an excuse when something negative happens.
and that's not gonna fly because Microsoft funded the game. You know what I'm saying? They
I
funded
mean,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it, it's it's basically, the people saying, well, we don't want 4K. I mean, we don't want, 1080p. We want 4K 60 frames per second. We should have the technology where we can do 4K 60 frames per second. That's the reason everybody's losing their shit with the 900p that it can dip to at times. I don't know if it's completely like that all the way through, but they're saying it can dip to that. And on the S, it can dip to six something
Yeah,
frames.
that's
I
that's
mean,
that's kind of
pixels.
crazy. All right. Well, with that said, hey man, we could go all day like Storm said, but we got to cut it
You know,
short because people got things to do. But damn, hell of a discussion, man. So let's run through the gambit. We'll start with Bunny. Bunny, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me over at Snow Bunny Gaming. Right now, I'm doing live streams on Saturday nights, 8 p.m. starting at 8 p.m. Central. Not 8 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Stardew Valley. Then an hour later, we usually start up. I'm right now streaming Little Hope. Dark Picture Anthologies Little Hope. You can catch the last two episodes on my channel right now. Also, you can find other videos that I'm putting up on the channel. You can find myself and my co host here, Project Storm, on Ying Meets Yang of Gaming, right over on Snow Bunny Gaming, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday.
And all right, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with Tronny. Oh, well, let's go next with Tronny. Excuse me, Tronny. Where can everybody find you at?
Oh, well, you can find me on Galactic Cutie. I'm also on the Roundtable podcast on Thrash Gaming, King Thrash Gaming. Let me correct myself on that one. You could also you can whatever. I have so I'm everywhere. You might be seeing popping up here and there. So other than that, don't be afraid to talk. My inbox is open, so I'm willing to talk to other people if you have any questions as well.
Right, awesome. And last but not least, Storm, Project Storm. Where can everybody find you at, my friend?
Well, being a co-host of everything, every damn where, just like Tronny just said. But you can find me on YouTube, Project Storm. I'm gonna be doing something tomorrow. I got that Madden in my bones, man. I gotta get my fix. You know what I'm saying? So tomorrow at probably at 11 o'clock in the morning, y'all, if you want to see me doing that Madden thing on Stadia and showing people why I get in the top 100 every single year, some of my secret money sauce and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Tune in, Project Storm, lock it in, subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss a beat because I go live when you never think I will. The storm is unpredictable, y'all.
Awesome.
So find me there, find me on Twitter at the Nephophiliac. I'm over there running my mouth, always dropping something that's gaming related. That's pretty much it.
And you can find me here on my channel. And you can find me on Stadia, the Stadia Dosage platform, where me and Storm and soon to be others, we be holding it down.
All the way.
Just look for Stadia Dosage News, and we got Stadia Dosage Streams. With that said, thank you so much for sticking with us for all these great conversations. Until next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.